Yes, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry about that, a little bit of a delay. My mic wasn't working, so let me know straight away in the chat, guys, if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know straight away if you can hear me loud and clear, because my mic weren't working. That's why I'm a bit late. Apologies, apologies. Yeah, my mic turned itself off. But big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you all good. Yes, big up, big up, big up. We hear you. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Big up everyone in the chat. How are we all doing this evening? Big up to all of you. Once again, thank you very much for joining me again this evening. I do really, really appreciate it. These shows are not possible without you lovely people. So once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me this evening. And thank you for joining me yesterday as well. Really good show yesterday. Um, and the debate show the 2 days back as well. We've had some good shows of late, so yeah, I really appreciate the effort and time everyone puts in coming onto the shows and helping me out. And you guys in the chat, you're all much loved. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Hope you're all doing well. This is going to be a call-in show today. What we're going to do, I'm going to natter for a little bit. I'm going to chat for a little bit. Talk about some stuff that's going on today, and then I'll open up the phone lines and get you guys in. This is a Liverpool FC call-in show. Chat whatever you want about Liverpool. I'm going to go through a few things. So there's rumours that Liverpool are going to spend up to £250 million this summer, and apparently it's going to be out of FSG's own pocket. I'm just saying. I believe when I see it, but I'm just bringing it to you. So we're going to talk about that. Real Madrid, apparently after one Andy Robinson. Robbo is eyeing up a move to Real Madrid, apparently, and Real Madrid are eyeing up a move for him. So we're going to talk about that. Would Robbo leave Liverpool this summer for Real Madrid? Seems like a weird one to me. Not that Robbo ain't good enough to play for Real Madrid, because he is. It's just, a weird one in his stage of his career. I think he's going to be 29 this season, is Robbo. So yeah, we're going to chat about that as well. So when you come on, when you lot come on and have your say, make sure you got your. Look, guys, you don't have to have your camera on if you're a bit nervous. I know most of you, and all you are good people, so it's not like I don't know any of you. But if you are, if there's anyone I don't know and you've not been on the show before, and you don't want your camera on, just put your camera on I can see you in the background before I put you on live, just so I can see that it's you, and then you can turn your camera off again if you want when you come onto the show. I'm absolutely fine with that. Absolutely fine with it. So Liverpool braced for a £40 million Real Madrid bid for Anfield favourite Klopp won't want to lose. Real Madrid are reportedly preparing, that's hard to say, to raid Liverpool for one of Jürgen Klopp's most important assets. Liverpool bracing for a surprise Real Madrid approach to bring Andrew Robinson to the Bernabeu. When the summer transfer opens next month, according to reports, Robbo, who remains contracted to Liverpool until 2026 as things stand, has firmly established himself as a key player for Jurgen Klopp during his time at Anfield, but has been reportedly been lined up by Real Madrid as a possible replacement for Mendy. Mendy has missed much of the current campaign due to injury and has been linked with an exit from Real Madrid, where the campaign draws to a close, leading to Spanish heavyweights to draw out a list of potential successors to the target later this year. Robbo is among the highest profile names under consideration, according to the Daily Mail, although Los Blancos would be forced to pay upwards of £40 million to stand any chance of snapping him up this summer. Is this like the maddest transfer rumour you've ever heard, or is it just me? Is this like the maddest transfer rumour you've ever heard? Absolute madness, guys. If you are joining to be on the call show, just stay in the background, guys. I'll get you on soon. Just hang about for a little bit, and we'll get you all on in a bit, guys. Big up to everyone if you're in the green room right now. The Scot is said to be rated as a world-class left back by those in power at Real Madrid, but has shown no desire to leave Liverpool as of yet, which suggests that it might be more difficult for the Spanish Giants to secure his signature ahead of next season. Its importance to the Reds will mean that he's likely to stay at Anfield unless the fee offered is too good to turn down. Is £40 million too good to turn down for Andy Robinson? Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. 40 mil. Guys in the chat, do you move on Robbo for 40 mil? Do you let Robbo go for 40 mil? Are you like, yeah, all right, 40 mil? Let me know in the chat what you're thinking here. If Real Madrid came with an offer, 1st of July, and came to Liverpool, look, this is what we want to do. We want to buy Andy Robinson off you, 40 million quid. What are we saying? Kay saying 60 million, I would take it. Max saying never happening. It's the weirdest transfer rumour I think I've ever seen. And this is no disrespect to Robbo. Robbo's a fine left back. You know, if this transfer rumour come out about 2 or 3 years ago when Robbo was at his absolute pinnacle, at his absolute best, I'd be like, yeah, of course he's looking at him. Of course they're looking at him. But now at 29, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. It's a weird bit of news coming out of from Liverpool today. Yeah, I think this news sort of broke late last night. Yeah, very, very, very strange one. It's all over everywhere as well. All the papers are picking it up at the moment. All the papers are picking it up. But yeah, there's other news as well. Mason Mount. So, Mason Mount. Where do we start with Mason Mount? So, apparently Chelsea value Mason Mount at around 75 million. It's not happening. It's not happening. Yeah, they value him quite highly. 75 million pounds. It's too much. I mean, no one's buying him for 75 million pounds, surely. Yeah, but a lot of more news coming in as well. Obviously, you got Big George coming in. Big George, the German, coming in as sporting director. Now, this is one we're going to have to talk about. Big George coming in for 3 months. 3 solitary months as sporting director. Can anyone make any sense of that? Can anyone make any sense of a sporting director coming in for 3 months? Now, I think the summer transfer window, when it opens to when it shuts, is 3 months long. So is he just here for the summer transfer window? And on the other thing, we got told that Jürgen Klopp in a press conference last week said summer transfer dealings are already taking place. So if their summer transfer dealings are already taking place, so what's Big George going to do when he comes in for 3 months? I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. That is that's a weird one for me. I don't get that at all. I'm not understanding now why Big George is coming in, but apparently he's so. I don't know. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the phone lines, guys. So the lines are open. The link is in the chat right now, guys. The link is in the chat right now. Make sure you get over there, hit that link, and come in and talk to me, guys. Guys, also, don't forget, hit that like button. If you've not hit that like button so far, I've got 52 likes already on the chat. Big up to everyone. Make sure you're smashing that like button, guys. I'd appreciate it. Right, I pinned the link into the live chat. It's pinned into the live chat. So make sure you come on over. And we're going to chat about it. We're going to chat about Big George, you know. Big George knows the German market, so I expect a lot of German links. Have you seen the defender we're linked to? Have you seen the defender we are linked to? Let me see if I can get his name up. Mickey something. You've seen the pace of him as well. Absolute mad. So we are linked to a defender this summer, and we're linked to this German defender. I have never heard of him in my life. Big up Ben, my man Ben from Anfield Talk put it up the other day. I don't know if I retweeted it or not. I probably didn't. But yeah, man, the pace on the bloke is frightening. Absolutely frightening. Let me go to Ben's Twitter and see if I can find that video of that defender. He's absolute lightning quick. Oh, here he is. Big up, Ben. I'm going to share you this, guys. Hang on. Guys, the link is in the live chat. If you want to come on and have your say, come in and have your say, guys, on everything Liverpool, everything football related. Let's have a good chat. Make sure you come in, guys. Make sure you come in. I want to talk to all of you. Everything about Liverpool. The Robbo deal to Madrid. Liverpool's transfer dealings. The £250 million £250 million rumoured spend. Yeah, make sure you come in, guys. Make sure you come in. Right. Right. I'll pause it here. Right. So I think his name's Mick something. Yeah, you go. Mick Van Veen. Mickey Van Veen. That's an unfortunate name, man. It's an unfortunate name. Yeah, that's his name. Right. I'm going to show you a video here, guys. This is him here. This is a video of him here. Watch his pace.
Come for the corner. The last ditch effort might just backfire. It's a good hit from Juranovic, but it's not on target. But now it's Cyril Roussillon. Former Wolfsburg player to make it 3-1. He will score. Oh, he hasn't.
That is mad. That is mad pace. And what I like about it, the determination to get back from the corner as well. So watch his determination. They ring him, like they highlight him here. Watch his determination to get back. What's determination? Look at the determination to get back. I better stop the music. Look at the pace. Oh, how you doing? How you doing, Mick? How are you doing? He missed that. Oh dear. Right, guys, the link is in the live chat. If you want to come and call in, you can come and call in and have your say, guys. All right, let's get a few in right now. Let's get K-Mac in, Bruno in. How you doing, guys?
How do, Jamie?
How we doing? You all good?
Yeah, good. Good show as always. Listening to your last two shows, I couldn't actually see them live, but they were sick, mate. Good stuff.
Cheers, appreciate it. I appreciate it. What we want to chat about then, guys?
We want to chat about transfers, don't we?
Go for it.
George Samacht is definitely being brought in to get German players.
Yeah,
he has to be.
He's good mates with Klopp, apparently. So
and Mickey van der Ven was one of his signings at Wolfsburg, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
So if that's quite a live transfer. That makes sense as well. He's a left-footed centre back as well.
Yeah, I think he's 22. 22 is he?
22, yeah. Dutch international. Probably mates with Virgil. Virgil doing our scouting for us by the looks of it.
And I bet he's not expensive either. He's
not very good at headering though, apparently, and he's quite tall.
Yeah, he's 6'4" as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll suit the rest of the tall guys who can't head it at Liverpool, won't he? Nunes and Gakpo.
Gakpo's headering is it's not great. It's not great. Look, we're after a defender. The rumours are that Matip and Nat Phillips could be leaving this summer. What do you reckon on that?
We've got to let him have a career. Like, he needs to go and play football somewhere. It's not being fair.
No.
Oh no! Every time it's like last transfer window, like last day of the window, it's like, yeah, he's going to this club, and then we get an injury, and then we have to keep him.
Yeah, I feel for him. I do feel for him. But look, Matip, I think Matip's been there a while now. Free transfer. What was it? 6 years ago now. Yeah. Would you be happy if Matip left this summer?
Yeah, I think Matip probably should have gone last year, to be honest, because we might have got a bit more money for him. I mean, the biggest problem with Liverpool and Klopp anyway is just keeping older players, like just not being able to let them go. And like, if you look at like the players that left, everyone was crying their eyes out. Like it's a business. Like your football team should be getting refreshed all the time. Players should be coming and going, and it just seems like everything just got kept on for too long. And I think he's probably learned his lesson now, and he's probably going to get rid of a few players. Like Matip will probably go. I think Shimaka's is probably going to go. Got to be honest, like, what do you think about the Tchouaméni and Robinson? What do you think about that? And 50 million.
Yeah, the Tchouaméni stuff is not going away, is it? Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one over at Real Madrid with Tchouaméni because he
is world class.
Really and he don't really get any game time at Real Madrid, does he? It's like, I don't know if Ancelotti fancies him right now.
You look at
Modric and Kroos, didn't they sign a new 1-year deal? So they'll be playing next season.
Yeah, it feels like Modric is not ready to give up. And Tchouaméni's still waiting.
Yeah, and if you look at Camavinga,
he's playing anywhere just to get a game.
He's more versatile, ain't he? Because he can play fullback.
He's been playing left back, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's more versatile. So you probably feel like managers like versatile footballers.
Doesn't that make sense though? If they got Robinson, because then they can play Camavinga in his natural position, and then they don't need Tchouaméni, then do they? Which we can have him.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's what they're looking at left back. Obviously, Mendy's had his injury issue, so Camavinga's out there. I think Nacho's played out there for a time as well, but they're all past their best there, aren't they? So
can you imagine how he feels though, Tchouaméni though, because he knows that he was like number one uno for Klopp, and then he turned us down, went to Real Madrid, and it's been a pile of crap for him there, really. And he's also a black player as well, by the way. Just point that out, like with all the racist stuff that's going on there. Yeah. And he, Klopp's like that. Come to Liverpool, and you can have Robinson to fill that position.
Yeah,
sounds like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it's just such a strange transfer. I think Albert is on a plane. Big up, Albert. Bruno, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you very much.
How you doing, man? You good?
We're talking about £250 million transfer budget, yeah? A lot of talk, this guy. A lot of talking. What I want to see is action, yeah? A lot of talking. I know a £250 million budget, yeah? A lot of talking. I want to see action. Right? We need to improve. We need to get new players in, fresh blood. I want to see fresh blood in this team. Right? Robertson, if Real Madrid want him, give us 65 million quid, you can have him. 55 to 65 million pounds, you can have him. Give us Tchouaméni while you're at it as well. That's right, give us Tchouaméni as well. And for anyone in the comments that's going, oh, we can't afford him, yes, we can. Enough of that crap, enough of that garbage. Yeah, yes, we can afford him. We tried to get him last summer for 85 million. He went to Real Madrid, and the grass is not always green on the other side. Now look. And now looks like they're trying to dish him off.
Yeah, the Tchouaméni one. It's weird, ain't it? Because I watched when I watched the Real Madrid Man City game, like Tchouaméni is like he weren't even thought about bringing on, to help out in midfield or anything like that. And when I look at Madrid's midfield, you've got Camavinga there, you've got Valverde there, you've got Kroos and Modric are going to still be there next season. If they get Jude Bellingham in, where does Tchouaméni play?
He doesn't play
in Liverpool's midfield.
He doesn't.
In Liverpool's midfield.
They've got Valverde, they've got Bellingham, they've got Modric, Camavinga. I think Toni Kroos as well. There's another. That's 5. You might as well just sell us to. You might as well sell him to Liverpool.
The thing about Tchouaméni as well, and this is also Klopp. He doesn't give up on players. He didn't do it with Virgil. He didn't do it with Naby Keita. he got his guys in the end. Like whether he had to wait a year or whether he had to like tap him up in bloody Blackpool on the Big Dipper, like he gets his guys. So and he knows Tchouaméni is the guy he needs. He needs him. Like he is the perfect replacement in that midfield. He really is. And with Mac Allister, wow. I mean, that's a plug and play midfield there. Like, serious.
Can I just quickly mention on the side note, why in the name of garbage are we getting a sport director for 3 months? What in the name of garbage?
I've got it up here now.
What in the name of garbage is that all about?
It makes zero sense. I don't know.
It makes no sense unless the club's going to be sold. That's the only reason I can think of. Unless you're selling the club.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got it here. So Big George, it's all Florian Plettenberg saying on Big George, it's almost done but not signed yet. But the former Wolfsburg boss will become the new transfer boss at Liverpool, mainly focused on the German market. Top relation between him and Klopp for years. Latest details have to be clarified. Confirmed his wife has given the green light. Oh yeah, you always got to get the wife. Like, if the wife don't like it, she can fuck off. I'm not being horrible, right?
She probably wanted him out of the house.
Yeah,
like,
but
he wasn't doing anything since January.
I'm sure he's going to bring in more money than she is, so she can like it and lump it if she wants. I'm not being horrible here, but
can I throw a few names at you as well that are in Germany, which we've been linked with in the past. And if he's going to be the transfer guy, you would think he's probably shopping in the German league. What about Dominic Sabal, who plays for Leipzig?
Yeah, good player.
Absolute baller. Absolute baller. Simakan, who's a right footer, who played right footed centre back and right back, French under 21, plays for Leipzig as well. Unbelievable player. Then you got Pinakache, who plays for Xabi Alonso's team, who's a left-sided centre back who can play left back, and he's got the same agent as Caicedo, and he's Ecuadorian. He's 21. You've got Mickey van der Ven, obviously the player that I mentioned. You've also got that goalkeeper, Ziegler, who used to play for Wolfsburg, used to play for under Schmacht as well. I think it was Mainz or someone like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's that goalkeeper that used to play for Man United, who's homegrown. That could be another person that they're looking at. There's a lot of options. We're also linked with Guardiola as well. If we've got 250 million, Guardiola's capable. We're capable of getting him. We want a centre back, and Jamie Carragher has even said recently, Liverpool are looking at one or two centre backs. We might even get two.
Yeah, I mean, with if Matip is leaving and Phillips is leaving. Look, Phillips needs to leave the football club. Matip probably come to the end as well. He needs to go. Obviously, I'd like to see Joe Gomez maybe move on as well, but Liverpool go keep him for homegrown reasons, so he's going to stay there. Plus, I think Klopp likes Joe Gomez, and I think
he's also the right-sided centre back, and he can also cover right back as well. We haven't got anyone apart from Trent, really. The other guys, I think he's just got back, but he's not played, has he? Really, the Scottish lad Ramsey.
Can I just quickly add? Yeah, since if that rumor that he's going to give him 250 million transfer budget is true, Henderson, pack the bags, off you go, get out of it.
Yeah,
Fabinho, pack the bags, get out of it, gone. Right? None of this playing sentimental crap. I've been saying it on this show for weeks. Now, if this rumor, if it is true, a lot of talking, I want to see action. If this rumor is true, I want to see him being ruthless. Yeah? None of being sentimental crap. We need at least 5 to 6 players, 5 minimum. Looking at 3 midfielders, a right winger, and a defender.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
I don't hear excuses, because he hasn't backed a single manager with funds since he bought this club. He's bought the club in 2020 in 2010 for 300 million, and he's not backed a single manager with funds. Newcastle are going to spend money. Arsenal going to be spending money. United going to be getting new owners and are going to be spending money. So I don't want to hear excuses. Come June the 1st, I want to see players holding shirts.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Let me just answer Aaron's question. Jenny's fine, Aaron. She's on holiday. Yeah, Jenny's in Florida, man. She's like there for a month or something. She's living life. Yeah, Jenny's fine. That's why Jenny ain't been around on the show for a while. Big up, Drew. Hope you're doing well. Drew, if you want to come on, links in the chat. I think it's pinned in live chat. If you want to come on over your side as well, my man.
The whole FSG thing, though, is like it's a 50-50 thing. Like, there's a lot of fans that say he's not being backed. There's a lot of fans that understand the whole sustainability piece. FSG have given Klopp everybody he wants. Like, every player that Klopp's wanted, he's got. Like, he would have got too many if he didn't turn us down and go to another club. And then he probably got Nunes. Like, anyway, we just don't know. But at the end of the day, every player that he's wanted, we've got. Like, he's never turned around and said, "Oh, they wouldn't give me the money." So if he's never turned around and said he's never been given the money, then how do we know that he never asked for it? Like, it's this phenomenon about we haven't spent enough, or we haven't spent what Chelsea have spent, and all of that stuff. That could be completely on Klopp. Klopp just might not want to spend that much money, which is a problem because he needed to. But FSG have given us absolutely everything. The only thing I don't agree with FSG is they shouldn't have put the stand on the club. Like, they shouldn't have done that, because they should have paid for that themselves, because it's their money that they're going to make off it.
They put us backwards with that. They put that. I can understand people's hatred for FSG. I can, because we live in a time now where football is so money orientated. You've got to spend, or you're standing still, and I get that. So you need owners that go spend. I don't think they're the worst owners ever. Football, unfortunately, is a business. People might not like that, but it is. There's so much money. When your sport is valued over billions to a British broadcasting company, it's a business at the end of the day. So, and when managers look at games and make sure, like, the reason teams down in the middle of the table don't put full strength teams out in FA Cup and League Cups is because there's no money in it. So that's why they don't go for it. The money's to stay in the Premier League. They'd rather finish, 17th in the Premier League and pick up more money for finishing 17th in the Premier League than win a League Cup and get relegated. Look at Birmingham. They won the League Cup, got relegated, and they've not been back since. They had financial troubles because of it. Look at Blackburn as well. And all that, the money is so in the game now that unfortunately it is a business. And it's a sport that we all love, but the business side of it behind it unfortunately takes over quite a lot.
The thing about FSG as well is they run so they're basically business owners running a business. They're not football club owners running a football club. They never got on board with that. They bought the club on the cheap because it was about to go bankrupt, and they got a good deal. And they spent 300 odd million, I think, but fair play. And they've ran it like a business, and they've basically grown it and made it more profitable for when they want to sell it. And I actually feel like they wanted to sell it because of the whole Man City stuff and the European Super League. It felt like they went into the Super League because they realised anything out of Man City, like, they're just going to keep on spending and spending and spending and cheating and cheating and cheating, and we're never going to be able to compete. And I felt like that's why they wanted to do the European stuff.
Allegedly. Don't take my channel down.
Allegedly.
It's obviously not true.
My
bad. And can I just quickly add this whole thing about the racism thing that's going over there in Spain, in Madrid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently, they've closed their stadium down for a couple of games. apparently Valencia have had their stadium closed down and have been fined for it. I think they should be fined. All clubs should have this. And before anyone goes to the comments and says, Liverpool have done this as well. Yeah, because I know that there's people in there. I think they should be fined 900 billion. Then we'll see if they'll stop doing it.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Is that legit? Have they literally been banned?
No, not banned, but the stadium's been closed. Like a portion of the stadium has been closed. Like they're not allowed to have like a certain amount of fans in there or something like that.
Because the president came out and said it was his fault. It was Vinny's fault. Like, and all the newspapers were saying that he brought it on himself. The
president's a joke. If I was Real Madrid are the biggest franchise of that league here. They are the biggest franchise of that league. Sorry, Barcelona fans, but it's a fact, right? And if Barcelona have all the power here, they can just turn up and go, I'm not playing. We're not playing. We're not fulfilling the rest of our fixtures.
That's how
we're just not doing it. We're just not doing it.
We're just not
doing it. Yeah. And what they go to do then? Because if they lose Real Madrid and Real Madrid eventually go, right, if you don't sort this racism out, we are your number one team in this country, yeah? We will pull away from Spain's league. You try and stop us. We'll bring this Super League back, man. Instead of making it a European competition, we just make it a main league. Because that is a thing we're going to have to look at soon. I do think this Super League stuff, I don't think it's going to go away. And I don't think it's going to go away into that it's just going to take over the Champions League. I think they want a Super League eventually to be a main league, just the main league in Europe, where, like the Masters League in PES, in Pro Evo, when you had the Masters League, that is what I think they want to try and make.
Do you want to hear something really weird? And I don't know whether anyone else knows about this. Is if you play Football Manager 2023 and you play until 2025, the European Super League starts on the game automatically. Isn't that weird?
Garbage.
Isn't that a bit weird?
That's weird. No, that's crazy.
It literally starts. It comes in. The way they do all the changes, like, more substitutions and all that kind of stuff. The European Super League starts in 2025 on Football Manager.
The fact that this place gets a Champions League spot based on how well you've done the last 10 years. Like, why not? It's just weird. And then you have to play 10 matches. 10. The only word I'm going to use is injuries. Here we go. Injuries.
I'm a scouser.
Let me just talk to behind the athlete. Is there a scouser or is everyone plastic? Like, well, I'm 41. I've supported Liverpool since I was 10, and my dad's a Liverpool fan. So, yeah. And also, if you want your team to be the biggest supported team in world football, then you can't just be supported locally, can you? I never get this. I never understand this.
Oh yeah,
never understand this.
I was abused on Twitter today, literally, because somebody went and told me, you're not a Liverpool supporter because you never gave me Liverpool. Like, what in the name of garbage is that? They started saying, oh, you've never been through the Roy Hodgson era. You haven't been near the Hicks and Gillett era. What in the name of garbage is that? I've been a Liverpool supporter since 2001. So this guy was talking up his ass. Yeah, I've been through the Gerard Houllier era. I've been through the Rafael Benitez era. I've been through the Hicks and Gillett.
They were good eras, those two.
I've been through the Roy Hodgson era, the Kenny Dalglish era in 2011. I've been through all of that. So what in the name of garbage was that? How dare this guy tell me how I support my team? Oh, what a load of rubbish.
Who do you want us to sign then, Jamie? Who are your picks?
Hang on, let me just get Recency on here as well. Big up Recency. How you doing, man?
What's good, Jamie?
Hope you're doing well, man. The man with the best radio voice in the world. There's no doubt.
What's good, man? It's good to be here, man. I've been seeing you eating out here in these streets, man.
How you doing, man? You doing good?
I'm doing good, man. I've been watching this horrible season unfold slowly but surely, waiting for it to finish because I know there's got to be some light at the end of the tunnel, right? I mean, Klopp, what can we say about the man? Great guy. We all love him, right? But this season, he really dropped the ball. Coming out of a quad chase, we expected Klopp to at least go after one trophy. We managed to go after nothing. Not only that, he waited until April to make serious changes. And see, my problem, Klopp, I'm starting to see something. And I'm going to throw it at you, Jamie, because whenever we have these discussions, we really get down and deep with it. Does Klopp just wait for Pep to do something and copies him? Because let's be honest here, the false nine was Pep with Messi.
Yeah.
And now this Trent formation is what Pep did with City and John Stones. So I'm just saying, Klopp, are you requiring your rival opponent to innovate before you innovate? If that's the case, you'll never surpass them. So as a true Liverpool supporter, I got to ask questions, because this summer, we can't have any more questions. We have to make the correct signings. And listen, I see the rumors out there. Mac Allister looks like he's a sure thing. I want to believe it is a sure thing, but I've seen some certain things like homeboy at Batiste when his thing messed up. So I'm like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But I do believe he will be a great addition to this roster. But the biggest problem I believe our roster has, Jamie, is if we're going into next season with this new formation, there are two key positions that I believe we have to strengthen, but politically within the locker room, we may not be able to afford to upgrade them.
Go for it.
Robertson's position, Henderson's position.
Yeah.
From a political standpoint, especially in an English locker room, it is damn near impossible to replace both of them in the same offseason. And see, I'm piggybacking off the rumor you hit us with the Real Madrid thing. I said for the right price in the live chat, I would have to let Robbo go. Not because I don't believe Robbo isn't still a great serviceman, but because I believe he's at that point where he's going to start having his decline. So you might as well cash in now. What do we always say? We never cash in at the right time. We always let them go on a free. And I would love to see Robbo be able to put on them Real Madrid colors as well. I think it's a win-win for the club and for his career. But I would like to hear you all's opinion of what I had to say so far, because I got a lot more in the tank.
K-Mac, you go first, man. What do you think?
I don't disagree at all. Like the Robbo thing, he's been on the decline for probably about a year. He's all pace, no brain. Like he makes really dumb decisions. Like
me.
and also he can't play centre back. So what are we playing a left back and a centre back for? This is the whole situation on the right hand side. Why are we playing the world's best midfielder as a right back?
Absolutely, K-Mac.
And Henderson, oh my God, don't even get me started on Henderson. No tackles, no challenges, no duels won. I mean, the guy turns around and says he can compare himself to Modric. He's living in dreamland. Like Henderson should have been sold a long time ago. I know.
Leave him alone.
I know.
He's got ears, he can hear.
I mean, I dislike him even more because I found out that he was the guy that poked Curtis Jones in the eye.
Yeah, he took Curtis Jones' eye out, man. He went for it.
For weeks that Henderson
really
needs to be replaced. But Robertson, Real Madrid, they do come in with a bid. Give us Tchouaméni. Give us the player that you snatched last summer to us, and you can have him. £50 million, and you can have him. We need to stop being sentimental. We need to stop doing what Arsenal did back in 2014 to 16, where they kept players until what? We're going to keep these players until what? Until they're 85 years old? Like, what in the name of garbage is this?
I agree with you, Bruno. But the one thing I will say is there's something about a player who, when he has the chance to come to us, he doesn't. That makes me not want him in his lowest moment. Like, as a true fan of the club, I feel like it will be even bigger L if we take him in on a discount and then he flops again. Now we're a laughing stock twice over because we allowed Real Madrid to make money off of his peril when they stole him from us, but they still won over us in the final when they grabbed him. It's like, nah, I don't even want to be nowhere near. Same reason why I don't want to give Chelsea money. I don't want to really give Real Madrid any money. To be honest, I want to take money from them with Robbo and then do something with another club with it.
I mean, I mean, if Klopp's turning us into like a Pep, an oldie version of Pep's Man City, then he won't have any problem taking too many. Like if he's copying Pep's tactics, he won't have any. Yeah, he won't have an issue doing that.
Do you think the situation with Vinny Jr. could have an impact on Jude Bellingham's decision?
Yeah, see the Jude Bellingham thing is, if I'm Jude Bellingham and I'm watching what's happened to Vinny Jr. in Spain, and he's like a marquee mega star out there, what's going to happen to Jude Bellingham? Especially
because Vinny's already won the UCL. You're right.
Yeah, and especially with Jude being English as well. So does Jude Jude's quite a strong character by all looks of it. When you listen to him talk and all that, he seems like a real strong character. Who might, he knows racism is about and what it is, and he probably hears it most of the time when he plays anyway. So he might feel like I can go there and maybe try and educate these people and help these people, and I don't know, but he might feel like that because he's quite a strong person. But it would put me off. Like I'm the whitest man in the world, so it's hard for me to talk about this sort of stuff, But
no, your opinion matters on a topic like this, even more so.
If it was me, and I was Jude Bellingham after seeing that, and the way the Valencia fans were acting, and then the way the Spanish president, the president of the league, spoke after. Not the fans. Forget the fans a minute. Let's talk about the president of the league. He should be looking after these players. His whole duty should be looking after these players and making sure their well-being is looked after, and not blaming a person like Vinny Jr., a black person like Vinny Jr., that you're making them shout racist abuse at you because you're entertaining. It's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard in my life. And if you're Jude Bellingham, do you actually want to go to Real Madrid to play in La Liga when the president of that league is talking like that? Forget the fans for a second. The president of that league is talking like that. Mm-hmm. Does that make you think, you know what? I'll just stay at Borussia Dortmund. They treat me well. The German fans treat me well. The league, the structure of it treats me well. Why would I go there and put up with that constantly?
There's a massive problem in Spain as well because the press aren't helping, and also the Spanish league are kind of looking at UEFA. Well, UEFA should be doing stuff, and UEFA aren't doing anything about it either. And the thing about Vinny's had 10 of those things which have gone in front of a court, by the way. They've gone to a criminal court, and the courts have thrown them all out. So Vinny's even at the stage where he's like, what's the point of me even reporting it now? Because it's not even getting looked at by the actual Spanish courts, and that is an indictment in the whole way that's done in Spain. But the thing about Jude, they're about to win the German Bundesliga. Like, he's in the Champions League anyway. Like,
absolutely.
So, it makes sense if he just stays another year with them, see how it goes with them, and then he'll probably get bought by Bayern Munich.
Because Haaland didn't even win the title with Dortmund.
Yeah, I mean, no one.
This is a big feat.
The last manager who went to win the German title that didn't play for Bayern Munich was Jürgen Klopp.
Yep.
That's madness. I think how mad that is. No, like Jürgen Klopp was the last manager to win the German title that didn't manage Bayern Munich. That's 11 years.
Yeah, it's quite funny how you mentioned that, because 11 years ago I was at school, right, and I was racially abused at school, and I was having none of it. I told the teacher at the time. I went to the teacher and told her, and the boy that did it got suspended. So I was having none of it. I wonder how Bellingham's going to feel mentally in his head with all that monkey noises and that. Like, what in the name of garbage? If you're going to go to a game to do monkey noises to a player, like, you might as well not bother entering the game. You might as well not bother entering the stadium. Like, what's the point? It's not funny. Like
They
I
burnt
said,
an effigy. They burnt an effigy at Atletico Madrid ground of him. They burnt an effigy in the crowd. Like it's just it's out of control. Like it's completely out of control. Like, and the thing about it, he's probably their most valuable player in their entire league right now. Like he's the guy you should be protecting. Like he's the guy
in a
you should
league
make
that
sure
is
wants to
suffering.
stay.
In a league that is suffering compared to where it once was when Messi and Ronaldo were clashing. You know, back when El Clasicos felt like El Clasicos. You know, nowadays I can go with missing an El Clasico. I couldn't I couldn't care. It couldn't care less. So in all reality, it really comes down to it's less star power in the league. I also believe if they want more stars to be able to branch out into bigger markets, they need a Jude Bellingham to bring on more English fans. And I think this is what they're going to try to pitch to Bellingham. Like, hey, we know what's going on in the league, but you could be our savior type thing. You could be the one who comes in and changes the way they treat black players moving forward. But the thing is, Bellingham, he's just trying to win games. He don't want to do all that. You know, he's not trying to be Marcus Rashford of Spain, you know, with all due respect. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to play ball. And I think Liverpool offers him that best opportunity to just play ball. You know, you can still be a captain, but you don't have to be involved in all of that other distractionary stuff. And what I worry is it could derail a career, all those distractions as well.
Yeah, and with the big up gang and deep, by the way, how you doing, man?
Yeah, all good, man. How are you guys?
Yeah,
we're doing great, bro.
Good. Yeah, with the Jude stuff, what's weird with the whole Jude Bellingham scenario right now is that Liverpool valued him around 80 to 85 million. That's what they market valued him at. I think Liverpool got their market value correct with Jude Bellingham. 80 to 85 million is what I would spend on him. I think they actually got the valuation correct. 120 to 150 million is just too much. I don't even see Real Madrid paying that. I really don't. And look, my worry about Jude is he wears a knee brace from now, don't he?
And, I was going to say knees.
It is.
And he's a young lad, and playing in the Premier League, and especially in Klopp's style, where your midfielders, the midfielders for Liverpool, when they're at their best, have to be quite athletic, don't they? You have to get around that pitch. You have to work 90 minutes, pressing, counter-pressing, defending, winning the balls back. It's a lot of work on the body. And
well, the others do. They took cover for Henderson, yeah.
Yeah, and would Jude break down? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I heard he's got water on the knees as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's water under the knee, ain't it? That's what it is.
It's no
muscle damage. He's got water under his knees.
Water in the knees. What is that? Is that like?
I thought that's what women got when they say a certain time of the month. I'm not, that's what I thought women got, man. When my wife was pregnant, it was water in the knees, water in the ankles.
Allegedly. Don't want to get your bags.
Disclaimer.
So I don't know if Jude needs to tell us something, but yeah. Gangadek, how you doing, man? What have you got to say, my man?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Yeah, no, touching on the Jude thing. Yeah, I think wasn't the rumors that Madrid were bid around 80 million as well, 90 million, they were going to anyways.
That's what they value him at as well.
They value exactly the same as us. But I think was it a while ago when the news broke about us not going in for him due to the financial situation, even though it's stupid anyways, because we knew what his value would have been last year and the year before and the year before and the year before that anyways. But yeah, that's just how we work in a strange way. But the thing is, if their valuation is the same as what we value him as, then chances are he probably did reject us and had opted for Madrid, just like Tchouaméni potentially.
Yeah, I mean that could be the case. Or Liverpool. What's the weird one about it? So I think Liverpool and Real Madrid have got their valuations of Jude Bellingham bang on, But Borussia Dortmund have got a different valuation to him. And to be fair to Borussia Dortmund, that's their player. They can value him completely different to how others value him at. I just don't think. I'd be shocked if Borussia Dortmund get the money they want for him. They didn't get the money they wanted for Sancho. He went for a lot less, didn't he, a year later?
Yeah.
So you can bully Borussia Dortmund into submission a little bit. What will help Borussia Dortmund's case if they go and win the title this weekend, and have another good Champions League run next year and buy some more talent. The problem with Borussia Dortmund they've got in Germany is because of the way German clubs are owned, Borussia Dortmund are never going to be financially big enough to ever compete with Borussia Dortmund with Bayern Munich, and that's Dortmund's issue over there. So if you go back to what Klopp did at Borussia Dortmund, it's actually quite a bit of a miracle, to be fair. Going back to back and what he'd done over there. But so they might have to sell Bellingham eventually, but probably get him for a bit of probably sell him 20 million less than what they're going to do eventually. But yeah, the thing with Jude. I think Liverpool need to do a lot more in the summer than Real Madrid probably do. Real Madrid could probably afford just to buy Borussia Dortmund, buy a striker and buy Jude Bellingham in the summer, where Liverpool need, 3 midfielders, a centre back, maybe look at another attacker. Liverpool got a lot more work to do. My thing that pees me off, guys, about this whole, I'm not bothered about losing Jude Bellingham, to be fair. My whole thing I'm peed off about is that we wasted 12 months of our lives. That is what annoys me, because what's annoying me this summer, the players we're going to get in this summer, we could have got last summer, right? And there's players I actually wouldn't mind us going to get this summer, but I don't think we can because we're not in the right place to go and get these players. So like a Lavia at Southampton, yeah? If we went and bought the midfielders that we should have bought last summer, then this summer we could have gone and picked up a Lavia because we've already improved our midfield the season before. If you go and pick up a Lavia this season, he's going to be one of the 3, and that makes no sense. Does that make sense? What I'm saying there, guys?
Yeah.
Exactly. This is Klopp's fault though, because he wasted 12, 24 months, 2 years, saying, "Oh, we're going to get Jude Bellingham. We're going to get Jude Bellingham." Well, come on, mate. A lot of talking. Yeah,
he never said that. Klopp never said we're going to get Jude Bellingham.
No, but he went
He just
after
flirted
him
with the idea, but he didn't. Yeah.
But he went after him 2 years trying to get him, and then you don't get him, so you've basically wasted 2 seasons. So what in the name of garbage was that?
Well, yeah, he did say we need the right player. See, I think that quote eats Klopp alive throughout time. Because what does the right player really mean? Because
I don't know what the right player is.
Because technically speaking, Darwin Nunez, I think we all can agree for all of his potential, he wasn't the right player for that time that we bought him. Like we should have got Gakpo then, and then we should have got a midfielder in January. I think that would have been the perfect sequence of events to at least have us compete, get top 4, at least be in a better position now to land better talent now. Right now, we got to really rely on Klopp's ability to pull. He's got to pull off a Monkey D. Luffy and get his Stretch Armstrong on. So I don't know.
He's only got himself to blame. He's only got himself to blame, right? You have to be proactive. Think ahead of time, not sit here, wait for the situation to happen and then deal with it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you waited 2 years, not get the player, and now you've been left with egg on your face.
Apparently, I've got a bit of breaking news. Apparently, Liverpool might be interested in Emile Smith-Rowe.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad at that one. I wouldn't be mad at that one.
But he's injury prone.
Really?
Nah, that injury record.
If he's cheap,
injuries.
Arsenal are looking to sell him to buy James Maddison, apparently.
I'd take Ainsley Nathan Miles. I'd take him. He's on free transfer.
See, I got a guy for y'all that I've been throwing at Jerry James, but he wasn't hearing me at first. Gibbs White. Did you see him versus Arsenal? He got in Gabriel's head. He was rattled.
You know my thing on players like Gibbs White and all that. I always have these theory that these players sometimes look really good at the level they're playing at, and they can't go up a level.
When it's built around them, they shine.
I see that in a lot of players sometimes. Like
Ivan Toney, maybe? Would you say he's one of those?
Oh
Yeah,
no, Ivan Toney is class.
I think
Absolute
Ivan
class player.
Toney's probably. I think Callum Wilson, Harry Kane, and
Jamie
Toney are the three best English strikers. Jamie Vardy wouldn't work at any other Premier League club.
No.
Yeah, I think he'd struggle. That's why he never left for Arsenal when he had the chance.
No, I mean, he's working at his current level. Like, you wouldn't see him at a Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, for example. You wouldn't see him.
I think Vardy might have done well at Real Madrid, like in his prime.
Or
it suits him.
A lot of pressure. That'd be a lot of pressure.
The guy came from like Stonebridge United or somewhere. Like he literally, it was only like, wasn't it like 5 years before he was in the Premier League? He was like not playing football. Like that.
When it Forest Green that Jamie Vardy played for.
Insane.
Like
Same with Ivan Toney, by the way.
He came to the Premier League.
Non-leagues.
Yeah. He came to the Premier League when he was like 28.
Yeah. He's like 36 now, and he's mad.
Ivan Toney had like 3 loans in like the 3rd division or something, like a couple of years ago.
And I hear he's a Liverpool supporter.
Peterborough, I think.
Yeah, he's a Liverpool fan. Yeah.
That makes me like, it makes me want to tap up Brentford and be like, hey, yo, with this investigation and this suspension, are y'all trying to give him to us for $5 million?
They won 100. They won 100 million for him, though, don't they?
No, not after this. Not after this suspension. No, sir. Everything must go fire sale settings. You know what I'm saying? No.
What do you guys think of Jacob Ramsey?
They're never selling him. They're never selling him.
Class, personally.
He's a quality player, but what is it? He's English.
He's their Grealish, basically.
Any other Premier League coming for him, they go, probably 70 million, I'd say.
Yeah, that's the problem.
70 million for him. And then when teams are looking at him, see, I think Liverpool should go and get this. Is it Alex Scott?
Yeah, I'm hearing about this kid.
I've been watching him lately, man. The kid's great.
He's great.
This kid is super talented. He's going to be that next sort of star coming from the lower leagues up into the Premier League. He will go to a Premier League team. Now, what Liverpool should do, and I always say this, Liverpool are never progressive enough in the transfers. They should get players in sometimes now for the future, and it doesn't mean you have to play them straight away. So someone like a Scott, you can go and get, bring him in, and then loan him out somewhere at another Premier League team next season. Let him have a year, see what he's like. We should have done this with Carvalho as well, and instead of ruining their career straight away, we should loan these players out, and then we've got people for the future that, we've got a star. Everyone missed out on Jude Bellingham. He went to Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool should have been active and gone to 16-year-old Jude Bellingham when they had the chance. There's so much talent in the lower league.
The same with Dele Alli. We could have had Dele Alli.
The problem is, the problem is when we reached the pinnacle and we were at the top when we did. So I would say from the year we won the Champions League up until 2022, we never strengthened the position of power, and this come back to bite us in the arse. Because those players that we're talking about now, so like, for example, you mentioned Lavia, Jamie, this Alex Scott guy, Bellingham when he was at Birmingham, even players like Carvalho and Calvin Ramsey, and even Nunes, even though he cost as much as he did, you get them players in when you have the team, like as in the team that's at its pinnacle, so they can learn off them players, and then when they leave, they can just come in as a transition in like ease. But we're not proactive enough, and on top of that, this whole coming back to the point of we wait for the right player. The problem with that is at the start of the project, which was what, you'd probably say 2016, probably when his project pretty much started in Klopp's first full season, because the aim at the time was to get into Champions League and sustain as being a Champions League team. The margin for error is a lot bigger, which is why we could have afforded to wait for Virgil van Dijk in January, even though we wanted him in the summer, but obviously the whole tapping up business and everything. And when we were waiting for transfers, it made sense. But when you get to the pinnacle, when you're considered one of the top 3 teams in Europe, which we were in 2022, up until 2022, the margin of error is smaller, which means you can't afford to wait for players. You have to buy them because you have to make sure that you are you're prepared, and you're prepared in the best possible way to compete for all the trophies in years to come.
Yeah, I agree. Who do you blame?
I don't particularly agree with that, like 100%, if I'm honest. If you look at the way Man City do things, because we seem to copy everything off Man City,
Thank God.
they have an insane amount of under 21s, which are like going to be world class. And even if they don't make it, they still make like 20 million on them. Like look at the amount of players they sold to Southampton and Palace and all of those teams. Like they sold like Pedro Porro to like Villarreal, and then he went back to Tottenham for like 30 million a year later. Like Lavia was from Man City, like Dozy was from Man City. Like there are so many brilliant players. They run their academy.
They brought Rodri when they had Fernandinho.
But the issue with Liverpool, and this is just as bad with the fans. Whenever we're linked to a player or we sign someone, we automatically think, "Oh, where's he going to play?" Doesn't have to play. Got 25 places in the team. He doesn't have to play. We don't have to sign players for the first 11. And we always seem to be like, "Oh, we're linked with this player." Or where does he fit in the team? Doesn't need to fit in the team. He can be on the bench. He can be in the squad. Like that's the way you run a football team.
That was the point I was making earlier when I say when we were at the top, the players that the sort of players that we were like that we've been talking about, you get them in when you have the main starting 11 that's like ready and there for them to learn off of. So then when obviously like with Mane, for example, when he left, and now when Firmino's leaving, and like your Hendersons, your Milners, and everything else, it's a seamless transition into the first team because you've been proactive in the market, and you've like sort of prepared for the future while you're still that team that's at the top and at the pinnacle, so you don't have that drop off.
We need a different manager then, because that's not how the manager does things.
Yeah, no,
that's
the problem.
He's 14 and that's it, and he burns them out. And he played like you look at the amount of games all those players play. It's insane. Like we need a different manager if we want to be run like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So when we go back to them, when we go to the thing
time, and it's so annoying. It pisses me off to my bones. Like, stop doing this rubbish, perfect player crap. Like, what in the name of garbage is this? Like in 2021, when we had that defensive crisis, that was on him. Because what did he do? You didn't address the defensive deficiencies. Once you get to the top, you strengthen to stay at the top. That's the proactive thing I'm talking about. Not waiting for the incident to happen and then you buy a player. Like, no. Do you know what this smacks of? 1990-91 season. I'm saying it now. That's what it smacks of. We didn't strengthen in that season. And I know people go, we didn't have FSG. We didn't strengthen and we fell off a cliff.
The FSG stuff will always be it's always going to be a debate in the Liverpool fan base. There's no doubt about that. Like every time you see debates with Liverpool fans that hate FSG, they go about we've won one Premier League title in 30 years. And I always come back to them and say, you do know they haven't been our owners for 30 years, yeah? You know, it's like, it's always that, like, we've had previous owners and different managers and different, like, all this and that. And the mad thing is, Liverpool were the fourth highest spenders in Premier League history. The fourth highest spenders ever in Premier League history. So Liverpool do spend money. rival fans hate it when we say we don't spend money because they're like, well, how did you buy Van Dijk? How did you buy Alisson? How did you buy Salah? How did you buy Mane? How did you buy Fabinho? You know,
is that sell to buy then?
Yeah, but it's still buy. But
yeah, exactly.
But you're still buying players, ain't you?
Buying
you know,
players,
what I mean,
but not from their own pocket though. Yeah.
I'm not. You know what? You know what the own pocket thing is.
Yeah.
You know the own pocket thing is. I'm not bothered about all that. I look at Man United. Yeah, Man United spend more money than God, and their owners never put their hand in their pocket once. Yeah, so I'm not.
They're taking money out of the club to do that, though, aren't they? Really?
We're not selling players like that want to stay, and we're literally going right. We've got to sell you because we need to buy him. We're selling players because we don't need them. So it's
can I just add to what?
It's good business.
What Bruno, sorry, carry on, Cat. Carry on, Cat. Sorry.
Cheers.
Jamie.
Sorry, carry on, K-Mac. Yeah.
I was going to say this. We need to stop this sell and buy FSG stuff. That thing is old. It's not done. And no team owners use their own money. All right. The reason why Newcastle is going to spend a lot of money is because they don't have FFP to worry about. We need to get things right. This sell to buy. Every team sells to buy. Chelsea used to sell a lot of or loan a lot of their players so they could make money. That's what Chelsea was doing. It wasn't coming from Abraham. Yeah. It never came from Abraham's pocket. Once in a while, yes, he will have to spend. But most of the team, each team is supposed to make their own money. Hence the reason why Liverpool extended the stand so that we make more money and we could use that to leverage to spend on players because we are using it to expand the team. The whole FFP is to make your club bigger without wasting money. We can't keep saying, oh, sell to buy, sell to buy. That's how every team does. City sells to buy. City actually took a loan. 600 million. However they did it, allegedly, I don't know. But they did it.
Did Emirates Airline buy Aguero? Yeah. So Emirates Airline bought Aguero. So, you know, look, and if we look at this here, this is Newcastle. So an exclusive.
They've started.
Newcastle United FC is in the advanced talks to sign a multi-million-pound shirt sponsor deal with Sila, a Saudi-based events company, an alliance that would provide a limitless test of the new Premier League rules on related party transitions.
I think we should stop moaning about Newcastle and Manchester City until we have any evidence that we've actually done it. Until we've had proof.
Oh no, we know some of them. We know some of it,
Aguero was being paid by a fake company.
Yeah, that's already come out and stuff like that. Like this happens. This happens everywhere. There's no. I think one owner in world football that actually did spend his own money on his football team was the Inter Milan owner, if I remember rightly, recent times, and now aren't Inter Milan in financial ruin.
Yeah. So he sold the club.
Yeah. But Roman did when he first came in.
Roman was just going, have that.
Yeah, but that wasn't really Roman's money.
Yeah, the man bought the team for what, £1? Guys,
stole that from the Russian public.
We have to be careful how we can't be pocket watching. This is what frustrates me with Liverpool fans. We always pocket watch. Honestly, we have to give credit to City. City bought Alvarez for how much?
15 million.
20 million.
Exactly. So we can't be that. It's their recruitment. City recruit properly. City did what PSG did not do. PSG just spend money. City, they started spending money, then eventually they stopped. They started properly managing how the players were getting. Now, how they were getting the money to beat FFP, allegedly, we don't know. I don't want to get Jimmy in trouble. We're never going to find out. I don't want to get none of us in trouble. But for Liverpool, right now, this is what we need to look at Liverpool. Klopp made a statement, the embargo. He said, every position is in evaluation except the goalies, which tells me Kelleher is staying, and probably Adrian is going to stay. So that means
for God's sake, man.
Oh, Adrian is staying. Yeah, Adrian is staying. But the good news is, because he said about Kelleher, didn't he? He said it'd have to take an astronomical bid for us to sell Kelleher.
I'm happy we're keeping him. Yeah,
and Adrian, he said, because you notice when we did the people leaving at Anfield last Saturday, Adrian weren't part of that party. It's because Adrian's staying.
I'm going back to
Adrian has never got a new deal in his life as a footballer. He got one at Liverpool, and now he's getting another one. We are just a charity, man, that keeps giving.
I honestly think we should tell Keller.
Giving Adrian a new contract. Grab his contract, burn it up, and let him go. Well, he's 36. This guy, what? We're going to keep it.
Kelleher, my bad.
Can I go back to what Bruno was saying earlier? Yeah, about how we're not ruthless enough, or we're not proactive enough. That's my problem with this whole club. We are reactive rather than proactive. We wait for things to happen rather than prepare for things to happen and to deal with that problem when it comes and rises. That's all, and that really frustrates me.
But that's where I blame the owners because they trusted Klopp way too much. Edwards, I've been preaching Edwards. When Edwards was there, that model that we were using was perfect. Liverpool fans whine, oh, we don't spend. No, that model was perfect until Klopp started gaining more power in the club. Hence the reason why Edward left. Hence the reason why his assistant leaving after a year. Come on, and now and people, nobody could tell me that's a lie because Milner came out and said Klopp wanted him to stay, and the owners or somebody came in and said no, he
is not ruthless enough.
Exactly.
Michael Edwards.
He needs to get rid of players at the right time when they leave, whether they want to stay or not. They need to go.
Can I ask the panel a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Just a quick question. So I think I've asked this question. I've put this question in a super chat on Jamie's stream before. But since I got you guys here as well, because I know quite a few of you. I know Paul and I think K Mac are pretty much Klopp out. But I was gonna. Sorry.
Yes, I'm still Klopp out.
Yeah. So for the even you, so you both of yourself and even Jamie can answer this as well. We pretty much all agree Klopp will get the whole of next season. I'm pretty sure he more than likely he probably will, right? What would Liverpool have to achieve next season in order for you guys to think Klopp is justified in still being Liverpool manager?
Can I start?
Win a trophy, win the league, or win the European Cup.
Can I start?
I'm out of this conversation.
I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, we honestly have to be honest. Liverpool is not really far off. We are not really far off.
I think we'll be back up there next season.
We'll be back. For Klopp just have to compete. He just have to compete. That's what he has to do. That's what Klopp has to do. Now,
so what is the aim of an elite club? Is it to or elite sport? Is to win.
Exactly. He has to win. But
can I just quickly add this?
Yes, please.
I've made this point, I don't know how many times, and I'll say it again. I don't care if people in the comments do not like this. We are not Tottenham bottlers. We are not the bridesmaids. Yeah, we are not the bridesmaid. We are the bride. We are the person that's getting married. We are the person that's doing the kissing. Yeah, we're not the person that's taking the bride down the aisle. We are the actual bride who's actually going down the aisle. Yeah, if I don't see a title race next season, if I don't see us compete for a title next season, I want Jürgen Klopp gone. No second chances. I'm gone. Bye. Au revoir.
I don't blame you because now that we've missed out on top four, I could create the argument it's Owen Wilson setting. We wedding crashers. We not even brides no more, bridesmaids. We ain't even at the ceremony. You know what I mean?
Funny.
We hearing a whole we're used to the champions. We're used to that plan, getting our adrenaline going. But see, this is the one trophy we haven't won. So as long as Klopp prioritizes that and wins it, I'm not tripping because we don't need top four as long as we win that. But if he doesn't get top four and he doesn't win Europa League, he's gone.
He has to go.
And I think there's pressure on him now because the fact that the owner says no, Jim Milner has to leave tells me that some of his power has been decreased.
Good.
You know what I mean? You could see from the way he's talking now. You could tell like he put way too much pressure on himself. Now he's more relaxed. They've been told him, okay, we're going to bring this guy in for 3 months to help you facilitate whatever. That's your guy. You work with him. But if it doesn't work,
I was going to say, what is the soundtrack for that? I don't know. Can I have my say about Klopp?
Go for
my
it.
2 pence. Yeah. Okay, so 2 factors. Okay. The first one is if we have a season of transition, this season wasn't a season of transition. Okay.
It wasn't supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay, it's absolute bollocks. If we have a season of transition and we clear out all the deadwood and we get loads of new players in, I will give him the whole year on it because you've got to transition those players in. But it can't be Henderson, Fabinho still playing like 50-odd games. And it can't be this Trent at right back, like, again. It can't be that. Like that just has to... It'll be gone in November. If we start the league like we started this year with this transition, apparently, and he's in the same position, he's gone by November. Like, he's gone by November. However, if we do this new formation and we change things and we try Trent in this midfield role, he's already said he's practicing for it, and we get these players in, we get Mason Mount and we get Alexis Mac Allister and we go for these defenders, and we really do give it a good push, then we've got to be challenging for the league and we have to be competing for that trophy 100%, like, because he's been he's had the money, like. But if it's the transition, where we get rid of loads of players and we are literally down to like, bringing kids in and changing things up and changing different styles and that, I can wait a bit longer because I can see something happening. But if it's just same old, no, November for me. Like,
great news, Ben.
Right now,
Orson's just said that Mount is leaning towards United. Good on him.
I don't see how he fits at United. I don't want him at Liverpool.
I don't want him at Liverpool.
I don't want him at Liverpool.
I don't want anywhere near Liverpool.
I don't want to give Chelsea money.
Okay. Can I say the most unpopular thing right now for everybody say who they want and who they don't want?
Quasi wants man.
Guys, the brand names are gone. These days, all the players that are coming in are not brand names. Caicedo and Mac Allister just became brand names like 6 months ago because of the World Cup and whatever. The new players that are coming has to be people who knows how to recruit and getting the right players in the right system.
That's what I'm worried about this director of football.
Me too. Because if we go for some of these brand names, I promise you, we're gonna be a laughing stock. Klopp has to get this thing right, and he knows it. If he doesn't, I'm sorry, he's gone before June.
The shadow realm awaits.
Yeah, I honestly think though this German director of football is going to be getting some German players in.
Apparently he's concentrating on the German market,
and I'm okay with that because we haven't hit the German market, and there's some really, really good players there.
I would prefer him to look in South America, France, and all those places. We can get some
gems. We can't be letting Pep Linders control transfers. We just can't.
Oh,
yeah, I agree with that. Completely.
I've already told you, Pep Linders, I've said this on this show also, Pep Linders, grab the book, burn it, get out of the club. In fact, I'll go one further. This guy was linked with Ajax. Take the Ajax job. Grab the Ajax job and take it with both hands. Get out of my club. Get out of it.
How are you blaming Pep when there's a manager who's overseas? I mean,
but Klopp isn't God. Klopp isn't God. He's part of the problem. He isn't God. He isn't Allah. He isn't Allah. He isn't God. If he doesn't improve, September the 1st, I want him gone.
You know what's weird as well? You know what's funny, and no one's talked about this, is actually when Klopp changed his tactics. It was straight after Graham Potter got sacked. And it's a really interesting thing because he made a really funny comment about Graham Potter in one of his press conferences.
Yeah, he said the only reason why he didn't get sacked is because of what he won.
Yeah. And he also said nobody's safe, are they? Look at Graham Potter. And then he also said, I've been like one of the longest managers in place. Now, he kind of took the piss a bit, but it was really interesting the fact that somebody got sacked like just like that, and everyone thought he was going to do well. And I'm thinking, have you got to a stage where maybe the board's even said to you, like, we're looking at you now, or we're going to do a vote of confidence or something? Because if he carried on in the next couple of games, just the way we were, we were in relegation form. We were basically like another Chelsea. Like, you know, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. All your credit's gone. You've lost your credit in the bank now.
Yeah,
and we all know you have.
Yeah.
This season, you either do what you're paid to do, or you fuck off.
Yeah.
That's to put it lightly. Au revoir. Au revoir, as they say in France. Au revoir.
There goes the monetization.
It's funny as well because I had this on JJ's show. I spoke about this on JJ's show. It was like Klopp was going. He was already gone, and he re-signed a new contract, and it was like nothing was planned because he was leaving and he was going to retire and become like a German manager or whatever. But he stayed on because Ula wanted him to stay, and she liked England. And it was like there was no plan of who we were going to replace these players with.
Ula likes £15 million a year.
Yeah,
Ula likes $15 million.
He lost that 15 million.
And it was like all the players were. None of them were even thought about being moved on because that 7 year cycle that he does was going to end. And then he signed a new contract, and he must have gone, oh shit, what am I going to do? And then it was like, because Harvey Elliott, Carvalho, getting these young players in.
I've got a question for you guys. Does anyone actually ever see Klopp leaving? Because I don't.
No, I don't.
I think Klopp signs another extension next season. I think if next season goes really well, right, and we're doing really well next season, everything's looking rosy again. He's getting players in, everything's going on the up, and he's seeing like a new transition in the club, and he wants to be part of that. Anfield's all built up now. You know, you've got the new training ground, he's got the players in, he's getting the new breed of players in. Why would Klopp leave?
That depends on FSG, how long they stay. Because they're like conjoined twins.
It's a marriage made
in mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think FSG are going anywhere.
No, neither do I.
No, they're not. They're not.
I've got one twist in the tail on that one. I think depending how the saga at United ends up. If Qatar don't get United, they might come back in for Liverpool and come back with a reasonable deal.
I don't think United gets sold.
48 hours, by the way. 48 hours is going to get announced.
Yeah. West Ham might get the Qatar.
Could be us.
Yeah, might get the Qatar. But the thing is, FSG have put themselves in a great position because if you're going to give that crap hole all that money, then Liverpool is in a better standing than Man U. You have to pay us $2 billion extra for that. They wanted 4, and they want to pay Man U 5. Oh, you got to give us 6 now.
I mean, you look at the new stand.
Oh, right now we are. No, we're not. Don't understand.
I'm sorry. They have 30 years on us in terms of.
No, we caught up. We just caught up. That's the whole reason why they
one season, but they're catching back up now, mate. So when they have that 30-year head start on us, we have not caught up.
And that's why people look. This is the part where people were like, people didn't pay attention when City got close to Madrid in the income race, right? Everybody was like, whoa, what's that? But people didn't look at Liverpool. Liverpool caught up to Man U of 20 years of head start. We came in third behind City, right? Or was it behind Madrid? We overtook Man U, overtook Barcelona. That is not no small feat. Now Liverpool have marketing juggernaut. What is going to dent at this? We are not going to be in the Champions League.
Yeah, but it's about how many fans you got worldwide and what is your pool worldwide.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. They have more, but yet we make more money than them.
We don't have that. We don't.
True, but we make more money than them.
Well, that's because we've been more successful over the past 12 months. So naturally, that success comes with more money made. But this past year now that we just had, I doubt we made more money this time. Because they had
the more money you bring in.
I think that's an issue as well. And it's also pissed the fans off. Is like we keep on promoting that we've done all these deals and we've made all this money and none of the money's getting spent on players. And it's like,
but
it could be if we had a new manager, maybe.
I think it's because the money we make doesn't come in till they're like the 12 months after.
Yeah, it comes always a year after.
It's always a year after, ain't it? That's when the money becomes available. So that's why they're probably going to spend big this summer. That's probably
this summer. Yeah, it's for last year's
come in. So look, the problem is we don't unless you're a proper financial expert. What we all do is a lot of guesswork. Let's face it. I mean, we don't work behind us. Yeah, we don't work behind the scenes and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but we're fans. We're allowed to speculate and moan and groan, and that's the whole point of being a fan. But
it's not our money.
It's not our cash, man. It's not our cash.
Exactly. It's not our money.
But yeah, I do think he'll do the extension.
One thing that I would never stand for is Liverpool don't have money. That thing I saw James Pierce. I had an argument with James Pierce on Twitter about the same thing. Don't tell me Liverpool don't have money. I don't care how much you're going to spend. Don't tell me Liverpool don't have money.
I don't trust any of these journalists that are connected with Liverpool anyway. I don't trust.
I'm not going to do the FSG out, blah blah blah. But don't tell me, Liverpool don't have money because they are not in the Champions League. No, I'm not going to believe that.
I don't mind James Pierce. He's just doing what he does.
I hate them all.
James Pierce gets told from the club, and then the
only one I like is Mo Chapman.
Klopp hates him though. Yeah. Did you hear what he said to James Pierce?
Well, I think he got the wrong person. He thought it was someone else, didn't he? He got the wrong person.
I see why Klopp would dislike him. Though.
Can I just quickly add? I saw a report that apparently West Ham have been linked with Qatari owners. So now I'm really angry. Now I'm really pissed.
It's that London thing, man.
There's a London.
There's London.
This whole thing about it's going to take 9 months to sell the club. 9 months, my ass. This ain't pregnancy. Eh? This ain't pregnancy.
It does take a long time to sell a club.
It takes a long time. Look at the menu.
A problem is you don't know how long someone else has been talking to someone behind the scenes for. And then it just comes out. Like
Newcastle wanted 3 years, didn't it?
Yeah, Qatar could have been talking to West Ham for like 8 months. We don't know, and it just comes out. Now, this is the thing. We're talking about Liverpool selling their football club is 4 to 5 billion quid. That takes time to go through with all the lawyers and everything and all. It takes a long time. Right, let's go. Let's have a bit of fun now for the last half hour of the show. So let's talk about next season. So yesterday, I was speaking about Arsenal and Newcastle won't make top 4 next season, right? Some of it was in jest. Some of it was because they pissed me off so much, especially Arsenal fans. So they got, and they're going to lose the league by 10 points if they don't win their last game of the season, which is madness. So. When
can I just quickly talk on the Arsenal bit, right? It'll take 5 seconds.
Go for it.
I did warn Gunnar Lee on Coppish TV, back off the cock, because he was giving a lot of cockiness. He was getting very cocky. And he was saying that Salah is, Gunnar Lee. He was saying that Salah wasn't worthy of his £350 million contract. And he was saying this and that. I told him back in October, back off or suffer the consequences. Don't get cocky with me. Yeah? Now look what's happened. Arsenal have bottled the league. Call it for what it is. They've bottled the league.
Arsenal are only 15 points ahead of us, by the way.
They bottled the league. They were 10 points clear of City, and they bottled.
That's still embarrassing.
Right, and see, at first, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was rooting for Arsenal because I was mad at City for pipping us twice or 3 times. You really go back like 10 years. But then I thought about it and I went, you know what? All these other clubs rooted against us when we were against City. For the same reasons we should root for them when they're against them when they're against City.
And they're Arsenal fans. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, nah. So now, if Man City dominates the way they slapped up Madrid, as a Liverpool supporter now, I'm taking this in with a different perspective now. It makes our golden age team look even better. We beat these guys. The rest of y'all can't. So that's how I'm taking it in now. I have more pride in Mane, Salah, Firmino, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, the guys that were once here all together, because that was truly a team full of leaders in their prime. Like, it's very rare you get a team like that. All of them went to their national teams and were leaders for the most part.
That's what Arsenal lacked, leaders.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll never forgive Arsenal for that transfer offer they made on Suarez. That's it.
Oh, yeah, it's been 12 years. It's been 10 years since that.
That's a grudge.
With the £1 million. Right, guys, listen. Right, with Arsenal, let's talk about Arsenal for a quick 5 minutes. Are Arsenal making a mistake by giving Saka too much money too soon?
I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yep.
I mean, I think next season he's going to be put under a lot of pressure. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
Like, he needs to deliver next season. I don't think he deserves the 300k, but I think they need to start giving that, because Arsenal have lost a lot of talents recently. I think they would need to do that, but I don't think he's worth 300k. He's because his recent forms are poor. Like, he's not really turned up in the big games. Really, you can say. Like, he's not really.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, brother. It's a slippery slope. You start giving him that kind of money, guess who's going to be knocking at the door? And the next person is knocking at the door. That's why people didn't understand the Liverpool, the incentive contract. You play well, we will give you the money.
Exactly. What's the kind of contract he's going to get, like when he's 25?
Exactly. Now you have to give him 400.
That's when his next contract's up.
Now you have to give him 450.
450.
Yeah, you have to. You're giving him 300 now. What else are you going to give him next time?
I personally feel sorry. I personally feel sorry for Saka. I personally feel sorry for Saka because I think he's a gifted little player, very young. I think Arsenal burnt him out towards the end of the season. That's why you saw him. That's why you saw his form drop, because they overplayed him. They got no choice. Martinelli's the same. I don't think Trossard's good enough to be a make weight next season. I think he's an okay player. I think he's too overhyped. I think Gabriel Jesus is shite. I don't get Gabriel Jesus. I don't get the fuss over Gabriel Jesus.
I think he's overrated, man.
He's overrated.
I also don't get all the hype over Zinchenko.
And they were saying
Zinchenko. What?
I think. Look, Arsenal were fantastic this season. I'm not going to disrespect them in any kind of way like that. They were fantastic. They took advantage of everyone else being poor and played extremely well. What Arsenal got to do next season is, with Champions League, they have to play their strongest team in the Champions League every week, and then their strongest team in the Premier League to keep going.
I think
and in the Europa League, they were able to rest and rotate, and they still struggled to get over the line. So with more football next season, Saka, I think it's unfair of him, because I can see unfortunate headlines that are going to come out about Saka next season if he doesn't produce, which is a real shame.
People saying they're going to title challenge it. I think they're going to be fighting for top 4 next season. I think they'll be fighting for top 4.
Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon they'll sign?
I think they're going to go for Declan Rice in a big way. If they can't get Declan Rice, I think they'll try and get Casado after that.
I think they'll get Declan Rice and Mason Mount, by the way. The pair of them want to play together.
I think
they've already talked about it.
I think
public knowledge.
Apparently, Gundogan's going to sign a new contract, isn't he? I see.
Gundogan. I mean, I don't know why Arsenal got. I mean, I think Gundogan's a good player, but I think
he flops.
I think Gundogan would be here for now. I think Arsenal just doing this for now, but they're going to need. I think if they're going to get Gundogan, they're going to need Declan Rice and Casado. If they get both, for me, Arsenal can still win the league next season if they spend the right money. I don't think they will.
Yeah, they've got a good starting point. There's no doubt.
It's like Man City reserves at Arsenal. You're just going to sign all their old players and all their old staff.
Cancelo might be on the cards as well. You know, Cancelo is to Arsenal.
I don't think Arteta is the guy to take him to the pinnacle. By the way, and winning the league. I think you know.
Say that again.
I also think that brings to Arsenal. By the way,
Next season they have
got a really raw deal at Arsenal. Emery.
Yeah.
You gotta say the same to Eddie Howe too. Eddie Howe too. Don't
Arsenal. No, Eddie Howe. I think I have Newcastle will win the league before Arsenal. If Arteta still, I think that's probably because Arteta. I think he's next season's the pinnacle. If he doesn't win the league next season, I think there's discussions. I know there'll be discussions over him.
You know what this Arsenal season kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of two team seasons before they won the league. Or before they changed manager and actually won the league. So
that was us.
The 03-04.
That was us.
03-04. No. Yeah. I'm gonna come on to Liverpool. I'm gonna come on to 13-14. But I'll first come to, like, you remember when Roman first came in, when Roman first brought Chelsea. His first season was the 03-04 season, the year Arsenal ironically won the Invincible title. Ranieri was the manager. Yes. He finished second, right? I don't know how many points behind he was Arsenal, but I don't think it was many points. And then what had happened is they had the team, but they didn't have the coach to take them over the line. And obviously, Roman, being the progressive owner that he is, obviously sacked Ranieri, brought in a serial winner in Mourinho, and then they won the league back to back. Back to back. Sorry, not back to back. Back to back.
I just want to say one more thing, right? I think Arsenal should be worried because they just took the other competitions lightly. They're just like, let's just forget that in the competitions and go for the Premier League. And they thought the Premier League was guaranteed. The way they were rotating, I mean, look, they should have taken the Europa League more seriously. I think they should have. They should have, taken more in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, and they didn't treat that in a manner. I think there was no guarantee they were going to win the league. Like, why? That's my worry for Arsenal next season. Will they take the other competition seriously? I don't know.
They have to. Look, at the end of the day, Arsenal fans going on about their amazing season. They're
someone say bigger fish to fry.
They're trophyless. They've got
West Ham is going to win a European trophy before Arsenal.
They've got nothing.
That's why
nothing in the bag.
Next season, I think our fans didn't appreciate that last season that much. Like, obviously, we won the Premier Champions League. That was our standards. But, like, I think we should have appreciated last season a bit more. Because, last season was like, we were fighting for all. We got unlucky in the Premier League because Man City did some comeback. And Madrid, Porto had a masterclass. It was just, they should, we took other competitions seriously. And, man, Arsenal, they didn't, so they got punished for that.
Right. That's big up, Dean. How you doing, man? How you doing? Well.
Yeah, man. I'm just absorbing. How are you guys? How is the panel?
We're good. We're going. Let's run up Newcastle quickly. So, for me, Newcastle sort of remind me of Leicester in a little way, when Leicester are battling for top four and playing above themselves. And I don't need mean man for Newcastle. Newcastle deserve Champions League football. Proper happy for them. They're great fans, great city, deserve all the success in the world. I think next season, Newcastle will find it a bit of a struggle because they have one game a week basically, concentrated on that, kept their form going, played above themselves. I mean, Dan Burn played at fullback all year. Players like that, it's just not, and they got decent players, Newcastle, don't get me wrong, they've got decent players, but I think Newcastle next season will struggle with top four, with Champions League as well, and they might not even get through their groups. They're going to be top four, so they might even end up in the Europa League with us as well. So it's going to be a struggle for Newcastle next year. I look forward to seeing how they develop. Actually, I think a lot of people.
I think if Newcastle, Yeah, you go on first.
Go on. I say Newcastle. I think they're going to struggle in the fact that Eddie Howe has never been in this position as a manager in his life, and it's going to be interesting to see how Eddie Howe deals with it. That's one thing I'm going to enjoy watching. I think Newcastle, we have to face facts. Eventually, Newcastle will be up there with Man City competing for everything because they just got the financial plan.
If they get rid of Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
I was going to say something controversial.
It's going to be an interesting one. What's everyone else's points? Let's go to.
Can I have one say on Newcastle?
Yeah,
I'll be really quick.
Go through the group.
I'm really worried about Newcastle. I really didn't want them to get into the top 4 in their first season of getting money. I really didn't because they haven't spent any. Their financial fair play means they can spend about 500 million, which is just incredible.
Or even more than that.
The worry with Newcastle is they have directors and owners that can literally just go, you know what, sod it. We're just going to get an unbelievable manager in. We're going to buy Mbappe. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they can. And that really is a worry because I do think they will. Eddie Howe's a brilliant manager, but I think they'll sack him. And I think they'll go and buy loads of mad players now because they can offer Champions League. And that is just such a massive, massive thing. And they've got an incredible fan base. Like, that stadium is a monster to play. I've been to that stadium and watched the game. It's incredible. They're going to scare us. Really are. Sorry.
I'm gonna say this about Newcastle. If Newcastle take the city route, they're gonna be so scary in the next 5 to 10 years.
100%.
If they take their time to build this project, because one, they have the fan base, they have the stadium, and they got money. This guy, the owner, is trying to build a wall across the desert. If you haven't heard, go research on YouTube. It is crazy.
Newcastle will struggle in the Champions League next season. I think Europa League is their standard. Like for now, I think Europa League.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah. But look, if Newcastle, I actually hope Newcastle will do well because I like Newcastle. And you know what? Yeah. Newcastle don't spend crazy. Like last summer, you thought they would spend crazy. They didn't spend that crazy, you know. And like Newcastle, look, if they get the right signings in, they could prove us wrong, you know. Like Diaby, they're linked with, you know, Agarty, them lot. If they get them in, I think Newcastle will be scary. But next season, I think they'll struggle next season.
Yeah.
I think
that's one mistake we're making. We're not getting from Agarty, are we? Apparently, from what I hear.
Yeah, which is pathetic.
Which is stupid.
Because we have 3 DMs, so we never go by a guy.
To get rid of Henderson.
Get me Lavia.
PR nightmare.
Lavia.
I think infrastructure is key, by the way, for how Newcastle are gonna be running the foreseeable future. Because I think they will struggle next year. They might struggle next year in like getting out of the group in the Champions League, but I think that they will still. I think they will still get top 4 because I don't think they're just going to splash stupid amounts of money. They will spend, but they will spend wisely and
strategically.
Strategically, and I think I know it's early days, but from what we've seen and how they've acted in the transfer market and the way they've gone about it, I think their footballing structure looks really good. And it's all about structure. Because the thing is, structure without money without structure, you're not going to get anywhere. Just look at PSG and Chelsea, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's all about the structure, more importantly than financial backing.
No, you can only throw Chelsea into that equation for this year. Like,
of course.
They're going to be unbelievable next season.
So would you all say Eddie Howe is similar to Frank Lampard in the sense that? Go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry, let me just go on that Chelsea thing a minute. I think Chelsea are going to be awful next season. I think they're going to struggle. And the reason is they got a loser in Pochettino. Right? He's just a yes man and a loser. They got...
That's cold.
It's a fact, though. It's a fact, though. It's a fact. Look, Chelsea, I'm just having a bit of a play about it.
I mean, they're getting Harry Kane. Like, that's going to happen, isn't it? So
I think Tottenham. I think he stays at Tottenham until his contract ends. I know Harry Kane's leaving Tottenham next season. I think he stays till his contract ends and goes the year after for free.
Just quickly make a statement about Pochettino, because he's a former Tottenham manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Chelsea fans will have him out by the end of this season or next season. He'll be sacked.
Not a lot of Chelsea fans want him, so it's going to be interesting. Chelsea have got.
So I would not be surprised if he was sacked by next season or the season after that. By the way, this is a Tottenham team who have not won a trophy. They haven't won a trophy since Madonna. They haven't won a trophy since Scooby-Doo.
Look. Tottenham are not a big team. I keep telling people this. I don't know where Tottenham get this big team mentality from. They're not a big team. Look, with Chelsea, they got a lot of good players, but they've got a lot of average players as well. I thought they spent a lot of money on crap. You know, Fofana, 85 million. I don't think he's that good. Sterling, he's done.
Ooh.
You know, look, you got.
I would have had him at Liverpool.
They got to get rid of Lukaku. The Mudryk looks, you know, the Chernobyl Walcott. It's just they got.
What did you call it?
Chernobyl Walcott. You know, it's just. I don't see anything. I literally don't see anything about his game. Like literally nothing. £100 million almost paid on him. A 27-year contract. And I literally see nothing. What he does, I don't know what he does. He just looks like a kick and run player. He looks like a kick and run player.
So you're saying he's explosive, Jamie?
Yeah, he's explosive. You know, he's like me in the bedroom. You know,
Jamie, that's why I was talking about people doing. You know, literally, Chelsea did a Twitter recruit. They went on Twitter, look at the list of players that were popular, and they started picking
he's popular. He's popular.
Exactly.
He's got a good FIFA card.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Jamie. I really do believe that was a move from a political standpoint to be more PC because Roman left.
Oh, Ukraine and Russia,
That was about that. Because you got to remember, Arsenal really wanted him. Chelsea didn't care. They just pipped it, cherry-picked it. And they was like, oh, man, this would be good for our PR, you know? That's how I see it, because they didn't really scout that, man.
No,
he wanted more shirt sales.
He don't look. He's athletic. I just don't know how good he's going to be. I really don't. Enzo Fernandez looks like a great player.
You see, Jamie?
He's the baller.
Like a great player.
You see, Jamie? With Chelsea, in my opinion, I think people are kind of missing out what I think is the point with what's going on at the club. I don't think if for whatever reason if they sack Pochettino, it will be his fault. I think the owner is too experimental. He doesn't really know. He's just trying things out. He doesn't really know. He doesn't have a plan himself. Like, this is how I wanna take this club to the next level. You can see even from when he came, he's just been signing players, and he doesn't really have a plan. He just, he's good. Okay, let's get him. Oh, he's good. Oh, okay, cool. He's on the market. Okay, let's, because he's got the money. And so with Poch, I think he has the brain. He has the that ability to take Chelsea to the next stage. But in my opinion, I think he won't have enough time for the Chelsea supporters to start believing in what he would try to do. Even also the owner, because it has to be. Chelsea's a big club, let's be honest. It's part of the Big Six. But for them to go back to say, now let's start building a new DNA, new identity, I don't think the supporters will have any of that. This is what's needed at Chelsea. Like a manager, like a long term, like a Guardiola. I mean, an example. I mean, Pochettino can be the Klopp or the Guardiola for Chelsea. If they give him enough time, he has to be in control of the decision making, signings. I think they have to give him the power as Klopp or as Guardiola, so that he makes the decisions. He makes all the decisions in terms of the signings, the strategy, the tactics, and everything. I think if they give him enough time, he can take Chelsea with the money that the owner has, because he's willing to spend money, which is what he didn't have at Tottenham, because he was overachieving. Let's be honest, at Tottenham, it's not like he was overachieving with the resources that he had at his disposal. He was playing with the same players every season. We know the front three who was going to be, and they were scoring goals. Like Kane is still banging goals, which means if he had extra funds like now he has at Chelsea, at Tottenham, the season that Liverpool won the Champions League against Tottenham, if you watch that game, I don't think we deserve to win the Champions League in that final. Tottenham were the better team. They were playing good football.
I disagree with that because we didn't need to play hard. Yeah, we didn't need to play hard. We already scored a goal. But
Tottenham, it was a penalty.
But over the course of the 90 minutes, Tottenham were the better team that final.
They were the better team. That's my point. That's my point. If they had a little bit,
you're not there to play better.
My point is,
win. You're there to win.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And that's why the Spursy. That's the Spursy thing. They do well and then they Spurs it out.
But to back up what Dean was saying for a second.
I think Poch is going to do really well at Chelsea, by the way. I really do. I think Poch is a brilliant manager. When he left Southampton for Tottenham, he improved him. And then when he left Tottenham to go to PSG, he won everything with PSG, just didn't get the Champions League. I think he's a really good manager and he'll do really, really well at Chelsea. He's got loads and loads of young players, and that's what he has.
Yeah, absolutely, K-Mac, and he has an exceptional talent ID. That's important as well.
He's good with young players, Pochettino. He's good with young players. I'll give him the credit for that.
No, Chelsea is going to be a problem, but it's going to take a while. It's not just going to be a fix.
They need a goal scorer. They need a goal scorer. And I don't think Nkunku's a goal scorer. So
they got Lukaku.
Lukaku is not going to stay at that club. Lukaku, I just don't see him playing for Pochettino.
I think he'll go back after Kane. I think he'll go and get Kane.
If Kane goes to Chelsea, he's completely ended his Tottenham life.
Well, you think it'd be the same with Poch?
Yeah, but Poch is just a manager. Harry Kane is rooted at Tottenham, ain't he? This is like Sol Campbell all over again. Because Tottenham see Chelsea as their equal rivals as much as the North London derby of Arsenal. Tottenham hate Chelsea with a passion, completely hate them. And if Harry Kane decided that they sold him to Chelsea and he wanted to go to Chelsea, yeah, that'd be awful. Yeah, if they got Harry Kane, I think Chelsea would be a problem. If they don't get a striker in the summer, because Kai Havertz is shit, and I've never seen a man live on one Champions League goal as much as Kai Havertz has done in my whole life. Kai Havertz is that geezer who nurses half a pint of lager in the corner of a pub for 2 hours. That is Kai Havertz. He's just, I don't get the player. He's not a striker. I don't know where he plays. I don't know if he's a 10. I don't know if he's a 9. I don't know if he's actually a midfield. I don't know where Kai Havertz plays.
I think Klopp could have got a tune out of him though. I think Klopp.
I just don't know where he plays.
Apparently, a few years ago, the year that we were supposed to get Werner, we were also linked with Havertz.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was supposed to be they saw him as the long-term Bobby Firmino replacement.
He don't see
the trend. It wouldn't work.
I'm happy with Gakpo.
Yeah. I think Gakpo's got more goals than Kai Havertz in his 4-month spell.
But Jamie, I got a question for you. So let's just say if this
mate.
Not bad. Just got back home. I'll just come back in. So let's just say this time next year, if our striker, whoever he is, because we like to change. One day it's Nunez, Gakpo. Maybe one day it's going to be Klopp himself. Because we don't really have an actual striker.
I think we should sell him. Actually,
what in the name of garbage is that?
Klopp has no airstrikes.
So if we don't replicate, because I feel like nowadays going forward, it's kind of like about who can score the most goals will most likely kind of win the league in terms of like outscoring the opposition, actually, and turning those draws into wins, most likely. So if Gakpo and Diaz don't replicate the Mane type of goals, do you think we also will be looking for a striker next season if they don't?
I think we should be looking for now.
The Diaz one. It's the Diaz one because Diaz has not had a full season ever for Liverpool yet because of injuries. I want to see what Diaz does injury-free for, say, 6 months in a row playing, no injuries, and see what Diaz does. Because, look, there's no doubt about it. Diaz has the capabilities of getting goals and creating goals. There's no doubt about it.
He needs to improve his decision-making.
I just got something in the back of my mind that I'm not sure about Diaz. I'm not sure.
Diaz,
I think Gakpo can get 20 goals next season. I really do.
Diaz was played.
What, in the Prem alone?
All right, Jamie, I got to jump out.
No worries, man. See you later on.
Hey, by the way, guys, still keep the faith. Man U is going to lose their next 2 games. Thank you so much. Peace out.
Jamie, are you saying 20 in the Prem, or are you saying 20 in total? Just
probably 20 in total. 20 in total.
That is a possibility. He could get 20 goals. This thing about
what's he got? 8 now. I mean, he's only been here since January.
I mean, when he got hit with the "This is Sparta" kick from Tyrone Mings, got up and still scored a goal, barring VAR. That told me he's the one.
I like that part.
I will sell Nunes now. I will sell him now.
Darwin Nunes. Darwin don't suit Klopp's system. He's one player we got in that front line that don't suit what Klopp wants to do. He just
didn't want him in the first place.
Gakpo.
I would have bought Ivan Toney.
Yeah, Gakpo comes to Liverpool. He suits what we want to do straight away. Diaz comes to Liverpool, suits what we want to do. Salah suits what we want to do. Jota suits what we want to do. Yeah. With Darwin, he doesn't suit. And the only way I think you play with Darwin is you play 2 up top, and that's the best to get out of Darwin. You get out of Darwin. I just don't know if Darwin's ever going to get the capabilities to play the way Klopp really wants.
He's got a season to prove himself, or we should sell him personally.
Yeah.
The problem with Nunes.
Yeah, but Jamie, that's one problem I have with Klopp as well when it comes to the way he uses players. Right? He's got this system. He's got this system that he sort of. And then he's expecting every player to fit into that puzzle seamlessly, not understanding that sometimes you have to also change the system to suit the player. Like, look what we did with Trent right now. We had to change the system to sort of suit now to give him, that role to, for him to play in the midfield. We just be buying players and expect them to perform. I mean, in this system, and also it's a system that hasn't been working for us for a very long time. We've been found out it was very difficult, even when you're performing at a high level, to break down low blocks. And I think as to your question, when you asked about are they going to score a lot of goals, like I think we have the best strikers in the Premier League. Like, our depth when it comes to the forwards, and they're all goal scoring. No, we do. No, we don't. It depends. It depends on how Klopp utilizes them. In my opinion, I think the best way to use them is to change the formation and the system depending on which opposition we play. If we know this is going to be a low block, I think Nunes will shoot low blocks, and we need a very good midfielder. If Trent plays in the midfield, I think we'll be able to unlock those low blocks, playing Nunes up front.
Wait, did you say Nunes would shoot low blocks? How would he?
Nah.
Yeah.
No, because I don't mean to be rude, but you are.
No, because he's good in the air. He is good in the air. Like, we struggle. Like, he is good in the air. We can if we play a very good midfield with Nunes up front with low blocks. He's very good at being at the end of those crosses and whatnot.
I don't think
he's very good.
I don't think any of our attackers besides Salah, maybe Jota, can be classed as a dangerous attack, because I don't think any of them have done enough to warrant that title.
My question is, will any of them get in the City front line? Come on, mate. You're trying to tell me that you're trying to say that our strikers as good as Alvarez, or Haaland.
No, but you guys, when you say that. When you say that, can they play in the Man City in the Man City team? All those Man City strikers, if they come into this Liverpool, they'll struggle as well. with this club
I
tactics.
think
Trust
Julian
me.
I
Watch
don't
football.
think Julian Alvarez.
Watch football, guys.
Alvarez would.
You need to, they'll struggle.
No.
They'll
Wait, hold
struggle.
on.
For me, I
What?
believe
Wait, so you're saying Mahrez
I
will
believe
struggle to get in? You're crazy.
because
No
Klopp,
way.
not because I understand where I'm coming from. Not because he's not a good player, but because Klopp wouldn't know how to use him. That's my point. He
Yeah,
needs
that's true.
players.
Fact.
All the every player needs good players around them to perform better to their full potential, which we don't have at Liverpool. We have this midfielder that doesn't know. They're all defensive midfielders. They are not there. They're supposed to be covering our wing backs, but they're not covering as well. So if you notice how we've been losing games, it's because there's no proper chemistry from the back end to the front. It's like a wave. We're good at the back, shit in the midfield, and good in front. But look at Man City. It's super balanced from the back to the midfield and the front, and every player knows exactly what they have to do.
Okay, but
so we can't. They won't perform well.
I still wouldn't say we're good at the
We
back.
only.
I wouldn't say we're good at the back.
No, but I mean, we are. Trust me, our defense is not that bad.
I think we need Caicedo because we're so bad at the back.
Yeah,
We've
especially
been poor at the
with
back.
Trent doing this inverted thing. I don't think next season we're gonna get away with as much of yes, I get it going forward. Going forward, it might work, but again, we saw in that game where obviously, let's be honest, the goal did come from Trent's side. So again, I don't think in the future, because you have to remember as well, a lot of these top managers nowadays, they can suss these things out. It's not going to be difficult because in general, managers always they target Trent anyway. So no matter what, now they're going to be like, oh, okay, so Trent is playing inverted. That means there's more space in where he was before. Fair enough, let's go in there. Because if Liverpool aren't going to play a back three, I think that our defense will still leak. I don't care about him doing it inverted. If there's nobody there to cover him, we will still continue to leak goals.
And that's what scares me about Hendo being Fabinho's backup. Because when Fabinho gets hurt, Hendo in that hole next to Trent, I do not trust that at all to protect that back line. I just don't.
There's one player that I actually feel sorry for in this new formation. This 3-2-2-3. Konate. And I'll tell you the reason why. He picks up a lot. He's been picking up a lot of hamstring injuries lately, and with this formation where Trent goes in and joins Fabinho in the 6-6, Konate is expected to not only cover right centre back but right back when we get hit on transitions. That's a lot of ground he has to cover, and the more he does this, if this is a set formation that we are going to play as of next season, if he's injury prone now, where he picks up these hamstring injuries and he's been pulling up until now, we might just run out. We might just take all the juice out of him by the time he's like 27.
Let me just say on this whole defence stuff. So I'm just looking at the Premier League table right now, and Liverpool conceded 43 goals this season, which is obviously terrible. Man City have conceded 31. Now, would you say the way we defend with the high lines? I've always said this: we defend with a lot more risk in our game than I think a lot of the other teams in the Premier League do. So, because we expect a prime Virgil to be. Now, this is why I always say Virgil at his best was as good as anything I've ever seen in the Premier League as a defender, because you're asking him to play this ridiculously high line and keep it intact, and he did. And now he can't do it because he's dropped off a little bit. If Liverpool just dropped their defensive line back 5 yards, I think Liverpool concede less goals to risk next season. City don't risk as much because they keep the ball. Pep Guardiola's system is all about keeping the ball, winning the ball back in seconds. That's why in Spain at Barcelona, he could play Mascherano as a centre-back for a whole year, because it wouldn't matter, because, if you play Mascherano in the Premier League as a centre-back, he'd get caught out. So it's different ways of defending. I'm actually surprised. I look at this thing right now. We can all agree on this panel right now, Liverpool being dog shit this season, yeah? I am surprised we have scored 71 goals and actually only conceded 43. We've actually conceded only 2 more than Man United, who are back. And Man United have only scored 52 goals and conceded 41. How they're fourth? Do you know what irritates me? Man United are dog shit, right? They're awful. And we're awful at the moment in time. It just shows, I think, the level Liverpool have got to go again next season where they can get out of this slump, get over themselves, pick their big boy pants back on, and, you know, get a few players in the summer that suits Klopp's system. Get players in. Look, I think the summer transfer window, a lot of Liverpool fans are going to love it and a lot of Liverpool fans are going to hate it. I think it's going to have such a 50-50 summer because people will go again, but that's not the players we wanted. I want this player, I want that player. We can't get to the next level with that player. And a lot of Liverpool fans, like me a little bit, will say, well, if they suit Klopp's system and the point of it is meant to suit systems and you start winning again, it's fine. Look at Man City. Man City don't go and buy well beaters most of the time. Akanji for 15 million. Eze. I mean, Ake, sorry. When they went and bought Ake a couple of seasons back and everyone was laughing. You know, they're not well beaten defenders, but what they are, they suit the way. They're very good at what they do in their role that they do. And Pep just makes them play their role. He doesn't overcomplicate the fact. He goes, okay, you're a defender, just defend. You know, you just got to.
Akanji is the type of deal we used to do, Jamie. He's the Joe Matip of their team.
Yeah, Akanji's a quality.
He's a little bit better than he's a little bit better than Matip though. Akanji's
well, you know, they both came from the Bundesliga. I'm basically just making that comparison. It's that low cost, low risk, high reward.
Nah, point Matip was cold, man.
Yeah, they're very good in their like.
Oh yeah, Joe Matip. He started when we won the UCL, didn't he?
Oh, he's cold.
Him from Schalke for free.
If Liverpool Liverpool went and bought Mac Allister from Brighton, I'd love that. That's a great player. Suits our system as well. Kind of similar system at Brighton. Could do that at Liverpool, no trouble.
Is there any worry that we'll switch back to the 4-3-3 with Mac Allister?
Yeah, Jamie, I was about to ask you, do you think he's going to play box? Because I've seen people say box to box, and there's no way he's coming to play box. No way.
Mac Allister ain't really box to box, though, is he?
Exactly. I don't want him doing that. No.
I want him to do the role he does at Brighton.
He plays left centre midfield.
So you don't see him being that genie controller in our 4-3-3?
No, I think the genie controller in our 4-3-3, if they buy him, will be Gravenberch.
Okay.
I think that's why Liverpool.
So he would be on the right. He'd be the one pushing up.
Yeah, I think they're looking at Gravenberch quite for that sort of genie role, and then Mac Allister is just your fresh-faced midfielder that can do all the quality stuff with the ball, and at the same time has got great work ethic, can work really hard, runs the ground, knows how to press. He's good under the press as well, quite press resilient, very good on the ball, can score a goal, good at set pieces. It's an obvious pickup. You know, Liverpool should just be getting this transfer done. And then Gravenberch, if they really want Gravenberch wants to leave Bayern Munich, which I think he might, then I think they just go and get him. And then you got your other issue is what other midfielder do you go and get? Because the problem is, if you keep Henderson, Stefan Bajcetic and Fabinho, you're not going to buy a DM. So you're not going to buy a Nagate. One of them has to go, and I don't see either three of them leaving. So we might only get two midfielders.
But then, Jamie, that's the problem. Then, like, if we're not going to get a DM, then I'm sorry, Trent has to just I don't want him doing inverted if we can't get somebody to cover for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why they get Timber, ain't it? That's why they want Timber, because Timber can play right back as well as centre back, can't they?
Well, if we don't get a DM in, then that's our title hope's done.
I agree, Bruno.
Well, I said it about Fabinho already, and everyone keeps going at me. With Fabinho, I said it. Everyone keeps saying, Fabinho's looked better in recent weeks. And the reason Fabinho's looked better in recent weeks is because the teams we've been playing, they've all been playing in front of Fabinho. They're not pressuring him. They're not pressuring him. They're not putting him under the press. They're not trying to contain him in his area. He's having the freedom of the ball, freedom of the field to move around, and Trent coming inside helps him. When we played Aston Villa, Villa play a high line and they press our midfield. Fabinho was dog shit. Fabinho was
absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, Fabinho was all over the shop yet again. So we have got to be careful about Fabinho. Also, at the same time, we can't put too much pressure on Stefan and just go, right, you're going to be our number 6 if Fabinho's terrible.
Don't do that to me, man. You can't put Vasetic in the midfield, man.
This is where it's very hard to always just blame the owners if we're not willing to sell anyone. Look, guys, let's be real here. James Milner basically said it himself. Klopp wanted him to stay. It was the owners who wanted him to go. All right? Klopp, they gave contracts to Navigator, James Milner, and Bobby Firmino, but they turned them all down. We weren't looking to get rid of them. When do what? We don't sell people anymore. What's happened to us?
Yeah, but
we've become too stale. That's the problem. The manager is acting like Wenger, right? He's kicking FSG off. Instead of selling the players like a normal club, this guy's trying to keep the players like we're in a retirement home. Yeah? Like he's trying to keep the players here until they're 65. Like, what in the name of garbage is this?
Like when they kept Mertesacker when he could barely run.
Exactly, man. What are you trying to do?
Does anyone actually see Henderson ever leaving this football club?
No.
Nope.
The thing that
gonna retire.
We should be obviously, as much as obviously we're saying we should be selling players, but then the question then becomes like, do we have any players actually worth anything really selling, like significantly?
Well, if Robbo it can really be sold for 40, I'm snatching that every time. I'm being honest with you. Because I don't think he'll ever be worth 40 after this summer ever again.
Do you know who would have been the perfect Jordan Henderson replacement if we would have got him 3-4 years ago? Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah.
He literally does what Hendo
all right. Yeah, Rodrigo de Paul basically did that for Argentina at the World Cup, didn't he?
Exactly.
He played the Henderson role. It was all about running and movement and positioning. That sort of player. And I'm surprised Liverpool ain't been interested in someone like him. I don't. I look at de Paul now. I don't think he could do it in England, though. To be fair. Right.
No, but before he moved to Atletico.
Yeah, before he moved. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched.
Is he Jamie?
So go on, Dean.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I remember earlier somebody said by certain week it's going to be too much for him because he's too young. But how come we are never? When is the right time to play a player? How? Because I think it's important if you know that the player has what it takes, like what we did with Trent. I think we need to start doing more of that. We need everyone else to be the senior, and then he works. Let's say if you bring in Vasetic, and then you give him 2 senior, very good midfielders. I think it should be balanced. Look at Barca. Every season they have an upcoming 17, 16, 18-year-old who is smashing it. Every flipping season they have a prospect that and is guaranteed to start. I think we need to look at our academy. We've got some decent players. Look at Musialowski. He's 19 now. He hasn't even played in the first team. We are playing Jones. We're playing these guys Clark and whatnot. But that boy is smashing. He's very good at I don't know. Nothing happened. We just
right wing prospect. I thought he was gonna be kind of like shadowing Salah along on the senior team, learning from him so he could be ready. And he's nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's a good look.
And we don't. And I think it's gonna be different. Yeah.
The problem with strikers and wingers in the academy, though, say you've got a striker in the academy, right, and you put them in the first team. You've got Jota, you've got Nunes, and then you've got flipping Gakpo. And then if he does play, if that under-18 player does play, that's a lot of pressure enough. But in a way, you've got the 2 to learn off from, so I can understand where you're going from this. So I don't understand.
Because it's really the only way we can develop talent to sell, to be able to buy more talent.
We did it with
Jordan. Exactly. So we can attract young players. Yeah.
I mean, we tried to do this with Carvalho, but it kind of missed.
Don't worry, guys. We got Ben Doak.
No. With Carvalho, I think it's with Carvalho. I think it's the same thing. It's the same point that I made earlier. Klopp doesn't know. For me, I think he knows, but he doesn't want how to use technical players. We never really had any. Look at Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum was very technical. He can play attacking midfield, but look at how Klopp turned him into a kind of central holding midfielder, semi-defensive 8, and he didn't score a lot of goals for us. But he scores goals for Netherlands. He scores goals for Wijnaldum.
Then what does that say about Klopp if he
so
technical, or let's just say like elite IQ players? Because to be honest, to me, Gini, the only really techie player we've ever had that can play 10, because even though now let's just say if we get Mac Allister, I'm still kind of figuring out like who's going, because I'll be honest, I think nowadays if you want to win the Premier League, you do need goal scoring midfielders actually scoring from midfield. It is a must now.
Yeah.
Because at City, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper can score, Akanji can score, Ruben Diaz can score, Gundogan scores all the time.
Yeah.
End of the season, Rodri scores.
Bangers, everybody.
And then at Liverpool, we just have Salah, like Gakpo, maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, but I think for us,
we expect trying to create.
The only techie player we really ever had was probably Coutinho. Like that was the techie of the techie we've ever had. Like
we need to sign more technical players. We've got too many runners and P&P merchants.
Yep.
So
that's my point. So Klopp. So as much as we can fault Fabio Carvalho, I don't think this is his fault, because look at how he was performing at Fulham. He was a baller at Fulham, and look at the way he was playing at Fulham.
Yeah, but again,
and Klopp didn't look at it and say, "Okay,
it's different level." I'll be honest, it's different level. I think there's archetypes of players that can do well in the Championship, but they can't do well in the Prem because the physicality and the small amount of time you have in the Prem is completely.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We keep on saying this. It's the same thing.
It's not the
same.
It's the same.
I mean, it's the same.
Look at Armstrong. Armstrong at Southampton. How many goals did he score when he was in the Championship? And how many goals has he scored at Southampton? Look at how many.
Exactly. Okay, Drew. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you this: We play Championship teams every season in Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Is it that different? Have you seen any huge? Sometimes we even struggle. And all the Premier League teams play Championship teams in every season in Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Can you see a huge difference? No. Sometimes Premier League teams lose.
What I'm saying is that
this happens, right? It's football.
I'm saying is that there's only certain.
If a player is good, it's good, man.
There's only certain players that can do well in. For example, let's just say if you looked at Coutinho, you might look at him and think, oh, he's not really strong, he's not really the tallest either, but he knows how to protect the ball and he has very good core strength, which is why people couldn't just move him off the ball. However, when I look at Carvalho, I don't see that. When I look at people like Curtis Jones, I just don't see that. But for example,
Curtis Jones is that, I think, in my opinion. Harvey Elliott isn't.
Oh, you can't. No. Paul, I got to give Paul credit because once upon a time, I wanted Curtis Jones on loan, but I have seen the light now, Paul. So you can't talk nothing about Curtis.
Next season, wait, hold on. So what? Next season, you want Curtis Jones to start with? Do you want him to start next season? Is what you're saying?
No, what you need with Curtis Jones, if Curtis Jones keeps his form up, and this is the sort of player he is, that means he's a great squad option. That don't mean you just keep you
not exactly. Not
you get a player.
Exactly.
You get a player that can play in front of him, but then if that player needs to come out and Curtis comes in, but he's playing with this right now, and this is his standard, then we're all happy with that. I'm fine with that as a squad option. But you can't just look at Curtis there and go, right, he's playing like this, so we don't need anyone. That's not. We need a squad.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'll have him in the squad, but I don't want him starting. Yeah, I'll have him in the squad, but just because he scored a few goals doesn't mean he's gonna have to start starting next season like he's our go-to.
Yeah.
Because we got.
Drew.
Sorry, Dane, 1 second, mate. What we got to be careful of, what we got to be careful about players' forms going into the end of seasons is that you're going up against teams that are all dead on their legs now and stuff like that, or teams that are on the beach or on holiday or their season's done and over. So it's very hard to go, right, Curtis Jones, he's always been this good. That's still what Curtis Jones is like at the beginning of the next season when the season's fresh and everyone's hungry and everyone's going at each other. Then you'll get a change up, in my opinion, where you see Curtis Jones. But he's a talented little player. There's no doubt about it. But if this is his standard, what he's showing us right now, then I'm very happy for him being a squad player. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. Seeing Curtis Jones perform towards the end of the season is allowed me to realize how much we were starving earlier in the season when we only had Harvey Elliott for these roles. No disrespect to Harvey, but, that's different gravy seeing Curtis play. That's different gravy because he got more size to him, more strength, wins the ball back pretty well, really has good ball retention in comparison. Has a better shot on him.
Is that recency bias because of the few games he's been scoring, or is that your actual opinion of him?
No, this is just based off the eye test because with this new formation, I see how Curtis benefits from it in ways Harvey doesn't. Because everyone says Harvey's a cam, but this formation has 2 cams in it, and Harvey still hasn't really had that performance of him like, oh, yeah, he shined like Curtis has. So this new formation allows certain players to really showcase, all right, does it really matter if you're in a 4-3-3, or does it really matter if you're in this formation? Or are you just a baller who balls in either formation?
Listen, I'll be honest here. Listen, if we're gonna buy Mac Allister for however much we're buying him, I am expecting to see more of a 4-2-3-1. Otherwise, I think it's a waste of money. Like I need you to go up there and help with the goals. Like I'm sorry, I don't need any more horse runners up and down, leaving gaps. We've got it. We've done that for too long. We can't sustain that. I need you to go and get 4 goals. That's what
I think the 4-2-3-1 is very contingent upon us getting a DM, though. We got to get one if we play 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. Well, we have to. Yeah, because why else? There's no point to get Mac Allister if he's not there to score goals.
But I don't think a DM is FSG or Klopp's priority, and that's why I think we won't play 4-2-3-1.
Don't you think Mac Allister can play in 3 in midfield?
I believe he can, but everyone else doesn't really want him in that role.
That formation needs to go away. Like we need to stop using 4-3-3. It's getting boring. It's getting repetitive, man. I don't want to see that for again. If I see formation again, Klopp's in trouble because I'm tired of it. Try a different formation, man.
It's so dead and boring. Like it's
no matter what you play, even if it's 4-2-3-1 or whatever it is, 4-3-2, whatever. It's always got to be a version of 4-3-3, really, ain't it? So, especially the way we play. But guys, listen, we're going to have to leave it there. We have gone almost 2.5 hours. It's been a great show. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I'm starving, so I need to eat, man. I need some dinner. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I will be back on Friday with some more. I'm on day off tomorrow. No, is it Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Friday tomorrow with the last match preview of the whole season, guys.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah, I got paid a day. I got paid a day early because of bank holiday, so I keep thinking today's Thursday. So I won't be back tomorrow. I'll be back Friday. There you go, guys. Enjoy. Thank you very much,
bro. Have a great day.
I do appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and all that good stuff. No worries, guys. Where I am.